Ooh, Liz! Too slow. We belong to the night. We belong to. Okay.
I like how it seems like it's really Liz forward, Liz first.
Well,
Why?
Because you're leaning forward and you're in front of Scott.
hashtag fashion forward, hashtag Liz forward. It's synonymous, no?
Yeah, it's fine.
You want to scooch in a little bit?
I have a cat on my lap.
Yeah, you can mute. Yep, cute.
I can mute. Did you say mute? That was so weird. Okay, there we go. Hello.
There we go.
My Netrunner card's back there. If anyone needs them for the stream. Got my tea.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
So hi everybody.
Hi. Ah.
Yeah, you've got to get closer to you.
Fine.
It's got a
Straddle the table, like.
Good lord.
Scott, I have spent many games needing to straddle a table leg, especially when we were playing at Chez Vous. So you can learn to deal.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I will deal. Don't worry. I will deal myself like a hand of cards. Yeah, thank you. Does that make sense? That doesn't make any sort of sense. Hello.
Hello.
Only other thing is, if you can easily do it, Scott, or either the two of you, Liz is much closer to the edge of the frame than you are.
That was great. That was
We're
very
both
funny.
just leaning in the same direction. Yeah. It's so good.
There's like a full Friday moment of like, you know, that's
Half a
funny.
Liz. It's
Hashtag
like half a Liz.
Liz. Yeah.
But as you may or may not have guessed, Montreal is on lockdown. We actually aren't allowed to go out to see each other.
Yeah. No gatherings of 2 people, which means no gatherings of any
That's
people.
a pook. That's a pook. You can't see
Hello?
me, but I'm on screen
No
too.
gatherings at all.
Pukajutsu is the master of disguise.
Yeah. So you're allowed to be with the people that you live with, and that's it.
So spoiler warning.
We're not in the same place.
We
Is
don't
that-
live in a hippie commune. With like all 4 of us together.
One day.
Oh.
Oh, Mr. loves this setup. Just saying.
Well, we have a fan then, at least.
How am I supposed to like elbow jostle with my friends? Oh, well.
Mr. Why do you like this setup?
Yeah.
I mean, we personally don't like the setup because it means that we're apart. But
Maybe
of
the
course, we spent a considerable period of time apart in this stream anyway.
Very true. Perhaps the symmetry of the 2 and 2 over the 1 and 3. Oh, there you... Mr.
Yeah.
I like even numbers.
2, 4, 6, etc. Love it.
Because suffering.
Is the suffering that now if I do something that Kate doesn't like, she can strike me?
And
didn't
if
actually
we
need
do
to
something you
contact.
don't like, you
I failed
can't
by
strike us,
choreography.
I think is what the bad part is.
But I
there.
can just wheel you
That's
out
too
of
close to a
frame.
joke. Mr. H, do you stop the volume on a 5?
Do 5s count?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, 5s are okay. I thought
Yeah.
so, Mr. H.
Interesting.
I thought
Interesting. Go, Liz.
4.
I like how you had to think about it for a few seconds.
Yeah.
I was about to be an
Excellent.
asshole and go,
1.237.
3.141593.
Didn't
Is there
say it
anybody in this
first.
chat who isn't pook inclined? Because if so, get the fuck out.
weirdness, thank you. Punchy condones your condoning of her violence.
Don't you know what condone means?
Punchy will punch anyone who infringes.
God, I absolutely under.
Stop up in your condoms.
So as you may not have noticed, this is a new setup that we've organized for the time being because we can't actually be together. As a result, I still don't have my dice.
Okay.
Where is dice? Sorry, if that's okay. As a result,
get
there
sound
may
well.
be differing audio qualities that you may not be used to. Please feel free to let us know if it's not earth-shattering. If it is earth-shattering, definitely let us know. But, just be a little bit aware that, Liz and Scott are going to sound different because they're using a different microphone. There may be occasionally some potential issues because they have to stream in and then we stream out. So,
Right.
so we've thrown it together. But hey, I get to use the real green card today
Ooh.
because I'm also not using a green screen. The green screen's over there.
I mean, we could, but
No. I'm actually wondering
Not
whether I
today.
need to continue using the green screen because I feel like it provides a bit of a separation between me and the players when they're actually here. We originally used a green screen because we were separated, but now that we're not, do we still need to? But then now we are.
It also gives you a bit of a fancy pants kind of background, which sets you not apart. I just mean that it sets you in kind of like an ether.
It deifies you.
elevates you.
I was,
Hi.
It's Angel Wing.
Damn it.
It deifies me.
No, our green
On
screen is
or
not
in?
that big.
Whoa.
So, special thanks to Zoom, a piece of software that we didn't use several years ago, and
Yeah.
now we are. And it apparently works just much fucking better.
Yeah.
Technology. It's come a long way in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Should have guessed. And the fact that OBS doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Hey. Also good.
Yeah.
I'm also going to point out that the reason they look so good is thanks to
y'all, you folks.
because they are using the camera that they would normally be here.
Yep.
So
We
thanks
managed to
all-
smuggle it to them.
Yes, under cover of darkness. Underneath a crate of lettuce. So thanks to everybody who's donated over the years, be that with time or with bits, donations, subs, or donation drives, etc. So thanks. Oh, we're seeing you vertically.
Oh shit! Wait, what? Oh, over this way.
Thank you.
Nice.
Was there? Someone listen.
Angel,
Yeah.
it's good to see you.
Oh
And
shit!
Annie, it's definitely good to
Yeah.
see you.
Yay!
We got Annie to cry. So
Oh boy.
All right, achievement unlocked.
right?
It's like 12 more XP, right?
Bingo, motherfucker. You actually have a lot of wonderful folks out there in the chat, so I hope this is a blanket. Hope everybody's okay and doing well and staying safe. That's a blanket statement right there.
And don't forget,
Warm and
Pukajutsu
comforting.
is present on screen. You just don't know where. Ooh. Thankfully, we are joined by she who knows 10,000 things, or at least we think we are. She might be rebooting at the moment, but
We appreciate her.
Erwin is here. Still another crosshair. Tear.
Sad,
Here.
but understandable.
She who reboots 10,000 things.
Rebooty call.
One at a time, though.
Where's the crosshair? The crosshair is doing something that I actually encourage, which is taking care of his own health by going to sleep at an appropriate hour.
Yep. Oh,
Very important.
Obsidian
Hey.
Heart is here, first time live in several months.
Oh, caught up. Oh
Oh shit!
Caught up. Shit.
Thank you, Trey Dog. Very kind.
Thanks to everybody who's subscribed. This is wonderful.
thank you, folks.
Is that something that we should be worried about if I'm like, wow, you actually watched all the episodes? What's wrong with you?
1080p only.
Thanks, Trey Dog. Yeah, we took some time, we did some tests, but this is also, all this tech and stuff is built off of what we started doing in Austin, and it was sort of just taking it a step higher thanks to Zoom, which has free unlimited one-to-one calling, which is really amazing because they have a lot better stability and visual quality and stuff. so,
Twitch. Get it together, Twitch.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm distracted. I can see a virtual flood coming down my street. I'm being a little hyperbolic, but there's a lot of water out there right now.
That's
I
not a
guess we're into
that wouldn't
the
be a
months.
virtual flood. That would be an actual flood, Scott.
Correct. Yes.
It'd be a virtual flood for us if he like took the camera and pointed it out the window.
A lot of water.
A lot of water. Yeah, pretty much.
Just like
I mean,
how if
would
you
this
go
Jumanji game just end already? I really appreciate that.
Next is the mosquitoes. No! Yeah, get the fucking tennis rackets. Let's go.
remember, mosquitoes kill more humans than any other animal,
Other than
Except the chupacabra.
other than
Other
humans.
humans, I was gonna say.
humans, but also
Oh.
yes, the chupacabra is.
But I actually don't think
fucking
that's true. I think they kill more people than humans do.
pretty impressive.
Chupacabra? Yeah. Classic chupacabra.
Liz is obsessed. I don't know if anyone knows this.
Very
I used to be
much.
obsessed with mythical creatures.
But then you grew up.
Well, then I grew up, and then I realized that there's
Well,
nothing
take one
mythical
point of
about the
banality.
chupacabra.
No. They are very real and very angry. Watch
They're
out.
very rural.
Very-
I seem to recall that last session, all of you failed Aragorn. Let's
Oh.
see if that holds out true today. 3, 2, 1. Yep.
I'm not going to defend myself. I have the experience.
Nothing to say.
I have more experience.
All of you fail. Someone promised. Kate.
Did I?
Ooh.
I don't know how much XP I had last time because I feel like I still have 7 and I had 7 last time.
Hmm.
But-
Neon Deflector, sometimes also it takes a few minutes for a stream to be live before the different quality options are enabled. So
Yeah.
give it a little bit and then maybe refresh and see if it...
Maybe being live for 20 minutes will do. Now Liz is reaching at nothing.
Those cat hair flying through you.
She's reaching out.
So it is possible, by the way, folks, that Chaos Cats are back.
Yes, they are.
Well, they are back, that's for sure. One of them is currently like summoning more chaotic energy through rest.
Oh no.
But like right here, you can't see her, but at some point you will. And the other one, I don't know. We're gonna find out. We'll just see what the
she
chaos
just had
is.
her meat dinner too, so she's gonna have her meat energy.
Meat dinner.
Oh god.
Looks like meats back on the menu.
What else is back on the menu? What happened last session?
Oh, very good.
You want to go over quick like?
Lunar is out of hiding.
Yeah.
She claims she was on a ski vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Halea was put to justice.
Nice.
Um,
Which is imprisonment for 1 year in a location of her choosing. She chose the Kingdom of White Sands. She's
Yeah.
gonna get away from Claude for a while to make sure she doesn't cramp his style, for the lack of a better term. Not quite right. Boley was also brought to justice, but he died. He fucking dead. If you'll pardon my French. What else happened? Remember, Liz?
We freed Claude.
Oh,
yeah.
And he quickly figured out that it was on Sophia's orders that he was frozen in the first place because Brahm cannot lie.
Not that I can't. I just choose not to.
Yeah.
You fully tried. You rolled for it and failed. You botched.
You can't prove anything.
I can. Roll the tape.
Queen Laurel gave us a gift of everlasting ice to the Spark,
Yeah.
and granted us all the title of Defender of Northern Ice.
Very cool.
Where texted us all, and we all had little tasks to complete for her. And Brahm interacted with his kids.
That's right, yeah. So, yeah, Brahm got a chance to speak to his sons, Aiden and Gus, who are both having the time of their lives with the Countess Ware all around the world, learning about naming and soothsaying, respectively, as well, in terms of their arts. They wanted to come home for Yule, which they did. At Yule, Sophia got a chance to speak to Claude, or slightly after Yule, I should say. I don't know
Yeah.
if you want to say anything about that.
Yeah, they are friends again. Claude was very upset, and Sophia had to admit to him that asking him to be frozen was a selfish act because she didn't want to lose him. And And so now I think they're cool. It was intense.
It was pretty intense.
And then Patches and Sophia spoke to Kyoko, and Kyoko revealed that she was the one who killed Boli.
Specifically by stealing Whisper and using its ability to destroy him utterly. Sorry, cause him to cease to exist, which seems like a bit above and beyond when it comes to executing, so that's fun.
Technically, she made his body cease to exist.
Right, yes, yeah. I guess you can't whisper
Under
away
his soul?
someone's phase soul.
I don't know. Maybe you could.
Wish away my feelings.
However, Brahm is not able to get that information out of her. They're still, they still communicate, just not everything.
How awkward
Kyoko
is
just
that?
showed like, hey, so I was in New York and I bought sword polish for you.
And he was like, okay, is there anything else? And she's like, no.
Nope.
He's like, okay. Yep, that's where they're at. Whoops.
Really healthy.
Super health, much wow.
That was
That's what happened.
I'm going to remind people that in here, we're very glad that you're here. We are practicing isolation, as you may see. In this game's universe, COVID-19 is not a thing. This isn't to diminish the importance of everybody being very aware of this. It's not to take away from the tragedy that it's caused many different people, but it is just not a part of our universe at this point. So if you see people interacting, it's okay. The other thing I'm going to point out to you is that if you at any point need to or want to reach out and talk to people, what are you doing? Well, I'm doing like a serious.
Sorry.
What were you doing?
I was trying to reach out
Just
and touch.
feeling Liz's face
Yeah,
up a little bit.
on his shoulder, but yeah.
Shoulder,
Sorry.
sure.
Yeah, if you need to reach out to people, we have a Discord server. People are on there all the time. You can go there and you can actually interact with other people, other real people who you may or may not have never met. So, I'm also going to remind people that we as players have access to cards. Oh, there we go. I was like, does
I think
Liz
the
have
green
one?
screen is still active on our layer.
Is it?
Fucking sick. That's awesome.
Where are we here?
I mean, I can't see it, but like, I assume it's awesome.
There we go.
That looks cool.
So these cards are here for our protection. You do not have cards, you do have tools, we'll tell you in a second. If we are showing a green card, it means that despite my outward appearance, I am enthusiastically going with what's happening and would like to see more. The yellow card means that I am approaching my limit, so I'm okay for now, but please be cautious. And red means that I am not okay. We need an immediate stop or retcon to what's just happened in the game, and please check in with me. We don't have cards for everybody in chat, but you do have options. You can whisper either a mod, Aragorn is here, or myself. If you whisper me, normally players can't see it. At this point now, there's a chance that Kate could see it. I'm being
But I'm generally not watching. So.
open to you, so like she could see it, but it is not necessarily what she's doing. The other thing that you can do is leave. We don't want to see you leave, but we do want you to take care of yourself, and that's what's important. Anything else?
I think so.
Yeah, don't whisper Aragorn with the treasure. That would be. Look, Crosshair can't. Crosshair can't make it a lot of the time, so we don't want to lose our other mod. That would be sad.
Treasure.
2020 on the overlay date. Fuck.
We hadn't yet jumped into.
No, we went back in
2020.
time, guys.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Thankfully, I can have that do-over now.
I have so many things I need to change.
Brahm, will you No. Oh my god, Brahm, no! That's rude. So rude.
Didn't she like have a sword when she proposed?
Probably. That's her style. Oh.
Don't forget, Brahm's bad at everything.
Oh. I have strengths. It's my strength.
Remember, Braum doesn't kill people. Other people who are around Braum use Braum to kill people.
It's time for a fastball Brom special.
Has Braun killed anyone in game?
Absolutely. I killed King Melch.
Oh,
If you recall
right.
correctly. Well, you know.
I committed regicide.
Yeah. Famously, I would say, actually, or infamously.
But is that your only one?
I probably cracked a few necks along the way. I don't really remember. Hit my head one too many times on those pipes protruding from the ceiling. Clonk. I'm done. Thanks for indulging me.
Anything else? Well, you know. Hey, 20 minutes in. You know, we do our best. Visit enough. Something that you may not know is that when I play Netrunner, Android Netrunner, of which cards are actually within reach of me right here, I mostly prefer to play it in person. It is possible to play it online. But online you miss out on a lot of what makes Netrunner Netrunner, the bluffing, the banter, the camaraderie. Netrunner is an asymmetrical card game that deals with a lot of hidden information. And if you are not present with the other person, much like online poker, it becomes more of a game of statistics as opposed to a game where you are playing against the player. What you also don't know is that when I play Netrunner in person, specifically with Scott Humphrey, sometimes our feet touch under the table. This is because, I presume, Scott likes to sit back and stick his legs out as he sits, whereas I tend to prefer to tuck my legs underneath me, but sometimes I sit up, my feet move forward, and then I feel the brush of a socked foot against my own.
Easily attacked.
It will be some time before I get a chance to feel that socked foot again. But that doesn't mean that I don't have the ability to sit down and play with my friends or with people I don't even know. Don't forget that right now, while you're playing, whether it is a role-playing game, a video game, a board game that you have somehow managed to cobble together, maybe you're playing on Tabletop Simulator and using the flip function one too many times, it's essential, now more than ever, that we use games as a way to connect to other people, not only to exercise the mind, but to exercise the brain, the heart. Footsies come and go, but games and friends last a lot longer. And I've triggered a bingo, so I imagine that Jot is on there.
Maybe.
That every time?
I'm going to go with yes.
Possibly Jonolog. I know that Jonolog was on there, and then I initially complained saying that every game has a Jonolog.
Yeah, it might
so,
be the center freebie though.
there is no center freebies
I
in these
know.
bingo cards.
I know. But maybe she
There's
changed
2
it.
squares marked.
Yeah,
Jot may
one
as well
got
be a
marked
freebie,
really
I'm just
early
saying.
on.
The
I think it was during our green cards or something.
that is the that's the syntax.
Yeah.
Just
No square brackets
no,
required.
yeah, don't put the square brackets, and you don't need the leading things. I just put that there so that it wouldn't add some random quote. So it's exclamation mark, quote, space, add space, and then the quote. Well, and if there's one thing that I do know, it is that Sunday mornings in the Spark, at least of late, are a bit more relaxed. True to Claude's word, breakfast returns. This Sunday, breakfast is a hearty oatmeal. Fresh fruit cut into it, perhaps some cinnamon, and a swirl in the vat of gruel he's just placed on top of the bar. It's been some time. We've moved forward about 3.5 months since last session, and even then, that was a month after the previous session. So it's, first of all of your resources have been restored, so it's there for you. The other thing that I'll point out, Ware has stolen the children again. Yep, Aiden and Gus are no longer present to cramp Brahm's style, as it were.
Wow.
Has there been anything that you've been working on specifically over the past 3 months?
Go ahead if you were gonna say.
Sophia has been assisting Mab with producing her EP, as promised.
I'm sorry. What? What?
Yeah.
Sophia made a promise to
remember this.
Mab that she would record an EP.
A solo
Actually,
album.
3 of them, I think.
Oh,
And
No,
so
two.
it's
Two.
2. And so that's what they've been working on.
I mean, really, you only promised 1. 2 was like a maybe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we'll see how the
We'll
first
talk
one
about it.
goes.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
It's called Lounge Lizard. And
Sorry.
the next one's gonna be called Teeny Martini.
Oh
so
fuck! Yes, fuck! I gotta write these down.
they're expected to top the charts.
This harp plays itself. I don't know what to tell you. Brahm currently doesn't have any specific, artistic endeavors or what else? He doesn't have any, kind of home, like any adventures to undertake at this moment in time exactly. So I think the 2 things that Brahm's been working on over the last few months, one is making his house feel like a home. I mean, these Montreal duplexes do feel pretty homey, if I do say so myself.
So over every door frame, you've just put like 2 triangles to make room for your horns as you pass through.
Oh.
It's really a quality of life improvement more than anything.
Yeah, you have no more door frames. It's all like open concept, like
Oh, yeah.
arches. Yeah.
At this point, there's no roof at all. God damn it, Aragorn.
Yay!
No, but in seriousness, I think we're kind of like he's indulging his inner troll and like really getting settled and maintaining.
There is one thing that happens, by the way, shortly after you move in. Kyoko takes a spool. If you've ever seen a massive spool of Ethernet of Cat 6, basically thrusts it into your chest along with a whole lot of patch outlets and just says, every room.
Okay.
Every one.
This I can do. Not sure if we really need it in every room, but I respect
room.
I respect that. I will. Is there anything I should know about this?
It's a cable.
Yes.
They will all connect to one central router.
All right.
And it will be in every room. Preferably in multiple places in those rooms.
Multiple places.
Do you want to run cable on the outside of the walls?
No.
No. I'll be damned if I'm going to let packet loss make me lose yet another match because I don't have proper cabling.
Who is Packet? All right, that's obviously for another time then. Lady Kyoko, I will patch through all of this cable for you. Please excuse me while I undertake this dangerous quest. And I strip off my coat so that I'm just wearing my half-open flannel shirt, roll up my sleeves, and get
Do
to
you need
yeah.
me to teach you how to crimp? RJ45.
I look towards her and I like make a motion towards my hair. Crimp?
Do you want me to assist you in this quest? Or do you wish the instructions so that you can do it yourself?
It's every troll's destiny to undertake a great challenge and be able
Cool,
to
and so she just dumps all the RJ45 sort of bits along with a wire crimper and a cable and a wire cutter, and just puts it, like, takes the box, puts it into your lap.
Do I have any idea what I like? Could I know what I'm doing? Possibly.
Scott, do you know what I'm talking about when I say this?
No. Like,
Then no,
like,
Brom does not.
Okay, because like I understand the basics of like you're like cabling Ethernet, but with anyway. But no, I don't. No, I'm not sure what this is.
It's attaching the plugs to either end of the cable so that it actually has a thing to plug into. The spool comes as just one massive long wire that you have to cut to the lengths that you need.
And then you need individual, right?
But you actually have to take each individual tiny little wire inside the cable and put it in the right order to patch the RJ45.
I look down at the materials I've been left with, and I look back up. While it is my destiny to complete this quest,
Angelwood knows what's up.
I do think it might be wiser to undertake it with support. Perhaps from yourself.
I can teach you or I can do it. Which one? Teach you.
Yes.
So she goes through the motions of teaching you the individual colors that go along inside every single cable. And every once in a while, as she does so, she mentions that your sons probably already know how to do it. And that, you know, if they don't, then you need to teach them, because this is the sort of thing that they should learn from their fathers, even though, of course, it is not usually a skill that one learns from their fathers.
Well, if you feel strongly about it, I will teach my sons how to crypt.
They'll learn how to manipulate the stuff of names and to see not only into the future, but also into the present, and you can teach them how a cable connects.
I can teach them much more than that as well, but I think I understand what you're saying. The connection between the dreaming and the real world is something I can pass on to them.
No,
right?
what you're teaching them is that if they depend on Wi-Fi, they're never going to be any good.
I didn't think the arts required a stable internet connection.
Gus is just getting into Fortnite.
I like cast my mind back. I feel like I've heard of Fortnite, and I feel like I've maybe even seen Kyoko playing it.
No, I
shouting.
don't play Fortnite.
Oh.
Drop
But-
that kitty shit at the door.
Okay. But the noobs, I thought there were noobs in this game.
There are noobs in all games, bro.
I see.
You were the noobiest noob.
Didn't think you would be allowed over at this hour of the morning, Lady Sophia.
Hello.
You're here to, like, decorate.
Yeah.
Claire didn't let Gus play Fortnite.
Damn.
But still, Gus, I agree. I agree with Aragorn.
Perhaps my son should be allowed to do what he
Yes.
wants.
Where my AC's at.
There's.
Known to cross the street. I am known as an animal in some places. I get to work, John. I learn from Kyoko.
What was the other thing that you wanted to accomplish? You wanted to put your home together.
Yes, and I wanted you to stay in contact with the members of the Golden Braid who do not live in Cross's Shadow. That would be Helena, and that would be Lord McAllister. Congratulate them, of course, on their retaking of Carefrost, but also just to, stay in contact with them. Make sure things are well with them.
Do you think it was difficult?
I didn't think it was easy.
Nary a bit of resistance and taking it down. I appreciate that what you did over in Quebec City. They really just gave us what we needed to get the element of surprise back, but I don't know if it's really that important for you to tell me. It was Helena who really did most of the work. And I know that you were the one who were suspecting her from the start. So, not as if I told her, but at the same time, perhaps it would be a good idea for you to get in touch with her. I seem to recall that sometimes you were friends.
We are friends. I just
Friends don't accuse each other of being part of a paramilitary organization designed to take down the monarchy.
No, they don't. They don't, Lord McAllister. You're correct. I owe her an apology for even daring
Has
to
there ever
allow
been
that.
a time that I haven't been correct?
I don't. Yeah, I just don't respond. I
You've been
will
taking
contact.
lessons from Sophia, I see.
I don't respond, but my eyes are like. I will reach out to the Lady Helena. Thank you.
Dantain? Jackie?
Jackie!
Dantain check.
That was one time. Damn it.
Patch, is there anything you were trying to accomplish over the course of these past 3 months?
Hey.
Making ever more progress on the Grand Best Inn, which is approaching being complete. At last update, it was going to be done around spring or summer. So I'm staying on top of that. All of the structural work is done. Now it's all about the fittings and interior and all the good machinery going on in there.
Kung Fu Fenris is Fiona.
Ooh.
Fun. And also working with Cog and Zister in the workshop on various projects, trying to be half the role model that she saw Nelson being.
Fuck.
Shit.
Shit.
Nice.
Oatmeal available in the Spark, but at the same time, the peace and relative quiet of what seems to be an early spring for Montreal. I mean, around this time, temperatures drop to around freezing at night and then rise up to, if you're lucky, like 7 or 8 during the day, which is kind of weird. Normally we would have had like, you know, still perhaps a little bit of snow around, but like the snow's gone. But there is one thing that's interrupting this peace in the morning, and that is the sound of rattling outside Sophia's bedroom window.
Does this wake me up?
It wakes you up inside.
You're already awake, but now you're awoken, right?
I bid my blood to run. I wake up and I put on my robe and head
And
to
wizard
the
hat.
window. And my wizard hat
Nice.
and open the window. Or open the drapes.
10 points for that.
Yeah, it's Jacob Marley here to teach Sophia that she's
Yes.
As long as I'm Michael Caine.
Jacob
I
Marley.
don't really mind.
Scrooge. Great. Okay. Great movie.
what you see on the outside of your window, with hands just kind of splayed and stuck, so you can see tiny little suctions on the window, is what seems to be a very small, very brightly colored, almost like that kind of slick rainbow hue that you see in sometimes like in gasoline that's been spilled. A gecko. I will point out that geckos are not native to Canada or in cold climates, or especially in this cold climate. But this gecko also seems to have very expressive eyebrows. I will point out that geckos are not normally known for having hair, them not being mammals. And you can see that of the 4 paws that it has, one of them isn't suction and instead is drumming on the window with tiny little fingers. And the eyebrows just...
Can I tell if it's a chimera?
It would if it wasn't a chimera,
Sure
it would be
hope so.
dead.
That's fair.
All right. I'm gonna open the window. Can
So-
I help you?
You open the window, and then it sort of takes a second, and then just starts scuttling around the window, just so that now it's stuck, but now on the inside of the window, and is looking at a very passed out map. A long recording session and a long celebration afterwards means that Mab is feeling a bit tender this morning.
Celebration. Holy shit, I love Mab.
Can I help you?
Oh.
And then starts crawling along the window, getting a bit closer to Mab, but not like rushing her, maybe giving her a little space.
I hope so. She's passed out. I sort of like sidle between the two. It's like, hi. If you're here to see Mab, I'll let her know you called, but I'm going to have to ask you to wait outside. She would be very angry with me if she knew that I let a visitor in when she's in this state. So, out you go. Go on. You can wait in the garden, and if she decides that she would like to see you, then she will be down and meet you shortly. Go on. Don't make me pick you up.
Whoop.
The
Shit.
the gecko just sploosh.
Sploosh. Right in the pond.
And then Mab just sort of sleepily
You have an admirer, Missy. Well, he's waiting outside if you want to see them. Okay, great. Fine by me. I'm getting breakfast. You do what you want, Mab.
Mab starts snoring.
No.
Oh, I can't see that.
Incidentally, when Mab snores, it sounds kind of like a discordant chord being played on the harp. Was anybody in the garden at this time on an early Sunday morn?
That's probably like. I don't
Out
know.
smoking a cigarette?
Sure, yes, definitely.
So as Patches is out smoking a cigarette, you just hear, and then a tiny little plop, as the water has a perfect like whoop.
Walk on over to the pond. What is going on?
And the first thing that you see when you come out, a head pops out. It's a gecko, and its eyebrows are very wet, so they're kind of droopy a bit.
It's got hair? It's got like hairy eyebrows?
It's got eyebrows. I mean, it's not like bushy eyebrows, but it has eyebrows.
Oh, really strange.
Hello?
Splish, 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 splish. And it very slowly, because it's not very large, and it has very tiny legs,
Yeah.
is trying to swim its way over towards the side where you are.
Wow.
I'm not gonna jump in the pond, it's not that warm. As long as it doesn't seem to be struggling.
I mean, it's just taking a while, and it looks kind of pezzed.
I'm gonna finish my cigarette.
And it kind of crawls out, and it can't shake like a dog. They're not designed for it, so it just stands there. But because it's a gecko, all the water just kind of goes, and it's just dry.
Yeah.
So right now on the flagstones that surround the pond, there's like a wet circle around a perfect silhouette of this gecko, because that's when all the water came off.
Nice.
It didn't even come off as it was getting out of the water. It got off when it just stood still for a second. It just...
Nice. Hello. To you too. Hungry? I'm sure there are lots of crickets and things.
I mean, technically it's doing this from
Yeah.
way down on the ground, so it's more like a...
I'll see if I can maybe find a little bit of ground beef. Feels like it would be the closest thing to a fly or a cricket.
And it starts skittering towards the door.
Okay. I'm gonna walk towards the door.
The door opens up, and then the first thing you hear from the inside is, "What the fuck is that?"
I believe it's a gecko.
And Sizer looks down. Is it a squishable gecko?
I don't think so. Do you not like lizards?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, well it doesn't have to come inside. I can bring the snack out here.
Beat it.
Not a fan of oatmeal?
Oatmeal is like what you serve if you've given up on life.
Nothing to chew into, nothing to crunch. There's no texture to it. I mean, there's texture, but it's just lumpy.
It's like, you remember that scene in The Matrix? Where like, it's like eating a bowl of snot?
I remember the orgasm cake. I don't remember the snot bowl.
That's Matrix 3?
The orgasm cake is Matrix
Is
2.
2.
Oh shit.
Well, Lottie fucking died. Didn't realize it was your favorite fucking movie series.
No, it specifically isn't. Anyway, so it's like eating a bowl of snot. Okay, well, I can find you some other food. I'm gonna see if I can't dig up something for this thing, too.
You sure it's not squishable?
I think it's a guest.
You think it's tasty?
I don't know. I think it's a guest.
Where did it come from?
It fell into the pond.
From where? The sky? It just dropped out of the sky? I mean, for all you know, it did.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess?
Fucking weird. All right, Sky Dick.
That or Mab kicked out her lover. I don't know.
Oh shit. Is this Mab's like piece?
I have no fucking clue. That's my only other guess. I mean, they live up there.
That's right.
Let's go check and see if Sophia knows anything about this guest.
Kung Fu Fenris, this gecko has made a surprising lack of pop culture references that are dated back to 1990, like 5. So no, this isn't Gex.
Guess Gex 64.
Even after she said all these things, Incisor still has 2 bowls of the oatmeal, one in each hand, and she goes off shaking her head.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna head in and see if I can't get some ground beef or something.
Where would you be looking for that?
Is Claude around?
Not that you can see.
Gonna knock on the doors of the kitchen.
No answer.
Come in.
So as you open the door, you hear banner, banner, and on the other side of the door, I don't know if you know about these things. They hung on doorknobs and they made a noise if you moved them enough. It was like a really early plastic motion sensor
Okay.
with a U hook
Yeah.
to put it over that. The sort of thing that you might see again in like 1995. And there's one of those. The
I see
kitchen
them walking
doors
to the
aren't.
cafe, yeah.
They don't have doorknobs,
Yeah.
so it's literally just taped to the door with like duct tape. But there isn't anyone in the kitchen, so no one's heard the noise.
I'd like to take it and wrap it against the door.
What, to,
using
like, break it?
my knocker fix it to unfix it to make it stop working.
I mean, you could just smash it.
I
That's
don't want
not.
to smash it. I just want to make it not go.
Knockers can't break things just
Fine. I'll just
by. How OP would that be if you could
Right.
not only fix things, but you could also break things just
Stop.
by? But
Okay.
you would know enough, like how much force you'd have to deliver to like dislodge some of the cheap ass electronics on the inside.
I'm
This
just
thing
gonna-
probably came from Radio Shack.
I'm just gonna untape it and tape it to like the wall, like just beside the door.
Okay.
Does it stop making noise? I stop
Eventually it
moving?
does. It stops. Like there's also a switch on the side. You can
Oh,
literally
click.
touch the switch
That I
and
would
it'll
do.
stop.
That I do. Switch.
I mean, it's the worst alarm.
Yeah, it's just enough. Anyway, to the ridge.
The fridge.
I mean, it's easy enough to find something that's small and meat-like.
Cool. I will bring it out.
As you come out, you see that the gecko has pulled over a napkin, and the napkin's now on the bar, and you see that it's currently burying its head in a small mound of pepper that it has shaken onto the bar, and then presses its face against the napkin so that you see, and then rolls its head so that it's this weird stretched out like lipstick kiss, except it's not a lipstick kiss, but it's made of pepper on the napkin.
Oh. Okay.
Because it doesn't have lips.
Yeah.
So instead it's just
Like
this
a weird
weird
mouth.
outline of its like long stretched out mouth.
Okay, so it's okay. I thought it was like snorting pepper or something. I was very confused for a minute.
Also
right?
assume
Yeah.
snorting
Yeah,
peppers.
I-
Just a
yeah.
joke. Yeah. Wow. Snow and pepper, baby.
Okay. I'm gonna give it set down a little like a saucer with some crumbled ground beef, not crumpled.
So it goes over, and then it looks at that, and then it crawls over to your hand, and it just places one tiny little hand on top of yours, and then goes back and starts very carefully just.
Surprising table manners for a gecko.
Like the gentle person, this gecko.
I'm gonna text Sophie if she isn't down yet. Be like, there's a really colorful gecko. Do you know anything about it?
Do you put in the text message?
Yes. H dot dot dot.
Yeah.
I respond with the words sigh. I think it's here to see Mab, but she's not awake yet. I told it to wait downstairs and I threw it out the window. On my way down.
Should I let Incisor eat it? Is what I put text back.
Not yet.
Wow. Yum.
It's on the bar. On, not at.
Brom,
Yes.
where are you?
I am at home with my wife and, all of our new Ethernet cabling.
See, you gave them a home, and now they don't show up to where you guys hang out anymore.
That's okay.
Ignite drifts apart. There's no reason for Brom to sort of see his friends. The game collapses.
That's okay.
Sophia's secret villainous plan is realized.
Oh, finally.
I'm on my way over to the Spark. I'm asking if Kyoko wants to come with us. Perhaps we can get some good breakfast there.
Why would I ever go to the Spark? I have everything I need here now.
Oh. Well, it seems unlikely. Many of our friends are at the Spark. Perhaps you didn't finish moving everything over. Perhaps you should come...
Why would I move everything over? I still have an office there. I still work there.
Well, yes, of course. So perhaps you'd...
I mean, work. I hold patents. That's my work.
Good work if you can get it.
I did.
I know. I realize it's the weekend, but perhaps you'd like to accompany me anyway. We could take a leisurely stroll, if you'd prefer.
How far away is this place?
It's near George Vanier. So, like, through a tunnel from Concordia.
Okay, so it's like a 15-minute walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not...
Uphill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like a significant hill.
Yep.
We're both in shape.
She'll accompany you. Absolutely. By the way, the Eshet doesn't apply to Chimera. It applies to Changelings. Or rather, the hospitality clause doesn't apply to Chimera, who are like, please let me stay. Because then you'll get like some Nervosa showing up, please let me stay. And then you're like, oh, well, I guess we have to. But,
If we have
you know.
some sort of rampaging 2-story tall beast. You're like, well, I guess I have to let them in.
Yeah.
Try not to make a mess of the carpet. Oh, shit. I told you not to make a mess of the carpet. And you killed half the people inside.
I love it.
Maybe you'll meet that freeholder someday.
I can't wait. We will become
Yes,
best
you
friends.
can.
Yes, you can. So, so Kyoko and I are on our way over, and we'll join whenever is appropriate.
That rug really tied the room together. When you arrive in the Spark, you see Patches potentially sitting next to...
I'm sitting at the bar. Yeah.
So yeah, sitting next to this brightly colored gecko who is very politely eating like ground beef.
Oh. Well, hello there. I go up and I try to take a seat next to the little gecko as well. Don't let my height alarm you. It's just part of who I am. Good, you don't seem alarmed. Ah, hello. Well, it's good to make your acquaintance. Do you have a sound by which you like to be referred?
And then the gecko scuttles over and then knocks on your skin.
You would be curious about it, I suppose. It's true. It's not very common. This skin is made of stone, you see. Much as you are the embodiment of your dream, I am in the embodiment of my own dream. One of the strength and...
To be rock hard, she mumbles into her
Hashtag, yeah. I heard that, Patches, and we'll talk about it later.
You see, this isn't the sort of thing that they teach you in the history books. Zister comes out of the elevator that heads down to the workshop. Looks like he's been up for quite some time already and has done most of the grease removal of his hands. The great returning hero shitting at the bar. conversing with geckos.
Shitting at the phone.
Shitting? Oh yeah, very good. Okay, I understand.
God, I loved it.
Do you answer these questions when the tabloids come and ask you all about your adventures? Oh yeah, yesterday I was in my patron's freehold. I was on my way to get some oatmeal. The oatmeal? Fuck. If I wanted wet claret dripped into my throat, I could have simply asked anyway.
Well, if you can find Glode, you can talk to him about it.
Yes, I'm not really sure why we need all the sarcasm directed towards us, sister. We're simply here engaging a new friend of the Freeholds.
You don't know why here, in the Spark, my freehold, a knocker freehold, run by a knocker, that you aren't greeted by sarcasm. This is new to you.
It's not. Every day is new to me, Sister Flex.
Every day.
You know, they made a really shitty movie about you. It's called Memento.
I thought it was 50 First Dates.
That was 50 Shades of Grey.
Gus
Did you
taught me
just?
how to do this.
Did you dab?
I 100% dab at Sister Flex. Yes, it's
Get the
happening.
fuck out. And he points towards the garden.
I thought it was a sign of approval or
Okay, you need to teach your
respect.
children that that's not cool. I know you thought your kids were teaching you something cool. You need to teach them that it's not.
Okay, I understand. The world has moved on.
It's like calling something fly.
Is that not cool any longer either? I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah. Yes.
If you saw me do what you just did, would that be okay comically in the universe?
It would be comic.
It would be comic.
You know
I
what?
would
Ask
assume-
somebody with taste. Just wait until Sophia gets here.
Sophia enters from the elevator.
Very good. Lady Sophia,
Did somebody say good taste?
we did. We were wondering whether or not a certain motion would be acceptable to be performed by various people. Sister Flex and I are at odds over this.
Sophia, is it ever okay for someone like me to dab?
What is dab?
Well,
You
Lady
have
Sophia.
Instagram.
Yeah.
You must have seen some child.
I don't
Like
follow
2
children
years.
on Instagram.
Sophia follows one person and one person only.
Herself.
Commander Hadfield.
Yes.
Obviously.
Lady Gaga. That's great.
Well, it needs to die anyway, so you don't need to fucking learn about it. Okay. Friend? Foe? Food? Say I'm pointing at the gecko.
Food.
And then once the gecko has finished its food and looks up and sees Sophia, there's just this wide-eyed like,
You seem to have an adverse effect on this.
You need to understand that you knocked on my window early this morning. Neither Mab nor I were prepared to receive visitors, and when I asked you to leave, you did not. All right? Now you are welcome to wait here for Mab to come downstairs on her own good time, all right? But we won't have a misunderstanding like that again, will we? Stop rolling! No.
Holy shit.
Consent is important.
so what happened? It knocked
Exactly.
on your window, you let it in.
It came in, it started like walking towards Mab. I think she has an admirer, maybe.
Perhaps they are related.
So what I understand is it knocked, you let it in,
Yep.
and then abruptly it was no longer welcome.
I said, are you here to see Mab? And it started crawling towards Mab. And I said, okay, well, she's not ready to see anyone, so I'm going to have to ask you to wait outside. It didn't leave. I said leave, and it didn't leave. And so I threw it out the window.
Do you
I gave it
normally
2
expect
chances.
animals to respond to your commands?
Yes.
Does it even understand the language that you speak?
Seems to.
It understood enough to get this ground beef from Patches. Not a euphemism, believe it or not.
Ugh. Yes.
How did you eject this gecko from the premises?
I'm really curious as to why you care about the semantics of this, sister. What does this matter to you?
I write down the
When
word
you
avoidance.
eject someone from your place of living directly into my freehold,
I flicked it out the window.
Onto the Sparks property.
wait, this gecko has fucking eyebrows.
Yes.
That's creepy.
Yes.
Dreaming is a place of all sorts of wondrous and terrifying things. Brom looks off into the distance briefly, and then back towards the gecko with the eyebrows. This guy's pretty cute, actually. See, I like that. It's very expressive.
Cool, you can keep it. You now have a pet. There you go. Your house is complete.
Well, we were thinking small dog, perhaps, but not necessarily this little
We
guy.
were thinking about a dog?
Well, I was.
What kind of dog?
I hadn't discussed it yet. I wanted to get your opinion.
Well, I'm not certain I want a terrier.
I understand. I like a little spaniel myself, but I can also understand if that's perhaps
Oh,
not,
another hunting dog.
yeah, perhaps not appropriate.
So you're saying I can never be myself when I'm at home?
No, you just. Well, you've always been a master at turning the tables. The hunter can become the hunted. The hunted can become the. Yeah, exactly.
What?
Jeez.
Have you ever seen a rabbit hunt?
You have surprised me
I have seen-
more times than I can count.
Have you ever seen a rabbit stalk a celery stalk?
No, but nothing would surprise me anymore.
Okay, I half a seconded at her initial. Have you ever seen a rabbit hunt? But
Oh. Well, look, I'm sorry. This is besides the point. Apologies. I didn't mean to bring this into this situation. I would love to know a bit more about you.
Is that its name? Is that your name?
you? Oh,
That's its name? Is that your name?
of course.
Ah, well, all right then.
There's a word for that, isn't there?
You can't call it. That's a shitty name.
It's what it called itself.
I believe
Raspberry.
a raspberry is what it's referred to. Yes, that's not too bad.
If you're going to adopt it, you can give it its own name.
I
I'm not adopting it.
don't think we were considering adoption.
Apparently, we're getting a dog.
No, I didn't say that. I said I was thinking about it because I have idle thoughts from time to time. My apologies.
Do you think that I wouldn't enjoy having a dog?
No, I do. I just hadn't brought it up to you yet. Thought we were still settling into our home.
So,
I like learning about these things surrounded by other people.
the beautiful weather we've been having, huh? Yeah, maybe we should do some gardening. I think that would be nice. We could spruce things up for the new season.
Gardening! Can we build something for the garden outside?
Can you build
Maybe a
some-
gazebo.
Gardening involves digging in the earth and sticking plants in the earth and making
Thank you,
plants
Patches.
grow.
Aware of that, but you can build structures to really set off the look of your garden.
That's not what I was suggesting, but fine.
And yeah.
Get the knockers to build you a gazebo because that's what you want.
Yeah, we're just here to serve her, like all sheep.
Oh my god, I was.
I hope that her freehold is to her
Question.
liking.
Yes.
I, for one, would like to know how Mab feels about this young Gender neutral dude. What's
Gecko?
pal? I'm gonna go with pal.
Ow.
Mav is sleeping.
I understand. So,
What?
well, it's all right. Never mind.
You know, you could simply ask the gecko what it wants.
I did. What do you want?
You could ask it in such a way that perhaps it could answer you back.
Do you have any suggestions?
Haven't you
sister?
spoken to Chimera before?
I know, but in a series of a couple of questions here and there. Really, is this what? This is not what I signed up for. This. She's already like casting the spell on Whisper while she's complaining.
while she's complaining.
I sure as shit can't talk to them. I mean, I saw it. I figured I could feed it and got it some food.
I noticed the pepper lips, and I go, "Is
Yeah,
this?"
there's a napkin with like a strange sort of ovoid.
Patches, what is this supposed to represent?
I have no fucking clue.
Well, you made it. What did you intend?
I did not.
Oh,
It
I looked to
did.
sister.
It
Flex?
rolled its face in pepper, then rolled its face on this napkin. At first, I thought it was going to snort the pepper and it had a real drug problem, but thankfully not.
That is definitely a point. Perhaps
Don't
I
snort pepper.
no, not a good idea. I have to call my sons really quick.
Like, I don't know what's drug-like to
No, Aiden,
Sure.
stop! Don't do it.
a
Your dad
pepper
was wrong.
snorting challenge.
Yeah, the pepper
Yeah,
top.
after fucking cinnamon.
Hello,
Oh yeah,
Aiden?
no.
No, seriously, put the pepper down. I just learned something that you might be shocked to learn.
I certainly was. I turned to the gecko again, and I kind of point towards the napkin. Is this for someone? But I'll also let Sophia roll. Oh, all right.
It's 5 on the Willow Whisper.
That's 5 questions you get to ask.
Great. First question: what is your name?
Ziovanius.
Ziovanius?
Ziovanius.
Fucking amazing name. Holy shit!
Do you need me to spell that?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna guess. No, please. Yeah.
Ziovanius. Z-I-O-V-A-N-U-S.
Ah,
There's no
Ziovanus.
Yeah, sorry, there's an I.
Anus?
Ziovanius.
Van-E-S. I-U-S.
okay. I was off by one letter.
Ziovanius. It's a Z.
Ah,
Sorry. Just slide it open.
where did it
It's
go?
right under your desk. Please.
Iodine.
Soudan. All right. It's all you.
All right. Second question: why are you here?
From where I come from, I heard the most enchanting mystical song. I realized I needed to know where this song could come from. I have traveled many, many, many miles to find the perfect instrument. It quelled a great beast.
That is true.
And what do you hope to do once you find the perfect instrument?
I want to let it know it is the most magical creature in all the world. I want it to understand that it has an admirer willing to cross oceans just to hear a single string plucked. And then I want to play the instrument myself. With these
Tell your
hands.
not in my room.
Oh.
Right.
Well, she's releasing an EP soon, so you can just hear it whenever the fuck you want. Bye. Like.
Bye.
All right, that was 3.
Great. Got 2
Two
more.
more
If anyone else would like to ask Giovannius a question,
Giovannius.
a question, please have at it.
I would want to ask Giovannius how he would feel if he was unable to obtain this instrument.
There's no obtaining to be had.
Well, that's why I want to know how he's going to feel about it. That's what I would want to know. But you don't have to ask. Like, you ask for a suggestion.
Giovannius, would you be content to simply meet this perfect instrument? You seem to be placing a lot of expectations on what you will do once you meet them.
It is the first step. But it is also the last step in a long journey from a series of islands in the middle of nowhere. Oh, it's over there. I was like, why is there a sign?
That's that. Saw 2
You must
people
know that-
standing less than 6 feet apart. Sorry.
My heart has pushed me, and the cold blood that runs through my veins all the way here. I will not be denied.
That language I don't like. I don't like that language at all, and if you don't change your tone, you will not meet the perfect instrument.
What language is he using? Remember,
He's
it's a
saying
whisper.
things
You're the
like-
only one who can hear.
He's saying things like, I will meet the perfect instrument, and I will pluck the instrument, and I will not be denied. This is all
Gross.
very
Okay,
problematic.
okay.
Gross.
I'm not appreciative of this.
We all just go.
But I also wonder whether Matt will just love the idea of having a fan.
It's going to be Mav's decision,
Yes.
ultimately. But we'll keep Incisor nearby, just in case.
If it is language that is the barrier, I could be more polite.
Language is one thing, but what you do is another. So if you're going to be polite but continue to be a creep, I don't want I don't want that.
I will prove to the perfect instrument that I am the master musician.
Okay, that's fine, but you still need to treat her well.
Would you not treat a Stradivarius with the ultimate respect? A Stradivarius you want to.
I'm sorry, John. What was that? What was that
Pluck?
last one?
You want to pluck it?
Pluck. Yeah, I think it was gonna be pluck.
Yeah.
And still, I'm the villain for flicking this gecko out the window.
Sophia has a really weird flashback to something she never experienced: being in a tent alone with a bow. Just
Oh,
have
he's
no-
so horrible.
Nice.
He's so
fucking
horrible.
Definitely never happened to
Flashbacks
her.
to plucking a string real
Play
hard.
the string. Play the string.
Oh god.
Nope, not going to continue that hand gesture.
Not
And it's
leaving.
like, oh yeah, let's do like pluck, pluck, pluck. There we go.
Oh, he's
That's
just.
less awkward.
Oh, god damn it. I don't know if that quite counts as a bail.
No, he didn't get up and leave.
He tried. He like leaned half out of frame. It was close. Have a done.
Your frame is different than their frame.
Mm.
Oh.
Certainly reminds me of some of the
And then
mortals who have come to meet you, Lady Sophia.
the gecko pushes the napkin across the bar towards Sophia. And you see that there's still a faint trace of pepper around its mouth.
This is for Mab. Right. Okay. I just need to interject here. He did bail from Hergo when Hergo said the lead train to Pucksville.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Time. So that was from an NPC. All right. Well, I'm gonna hold the napkin like this and head to the elevator.
So the pepper falls off? Is that what?
It's got
it's
a
like
little bit of
strawberries.
moistness on there. The
Yeah, it's
pepper's
got
there.
some gecko spit on it.
Absolute filth.
Yeah.
It licked its lips first.
Lips. It has no lips.
Mouth edges. Mouth.
Licked its own
Lines.
face.
Bleh.
All right, so I just want to point out, Aragorn's like, a loss of memory, the death of two kings, the crowning of a new monarch, the destruction of an enemy base, battle versus dragon, a revolution to be squashed, new game arc, pervy gecko. What if we tried to teach the gecko manners? Maybe
I've gone.
That sounds like a great
Oh,
idea.
with the
maybe we could educate the gecko as to a proper way to court a young lady.
Please lead by example. I would love to learn too.
I don't know how to court Mab.
Well, then what are we gonna do?
Well, I can show you. And then the gecko just like takes an intense amount of interest as Kyoko, with a flourish, produces a pristine piece of ivory parchment from somewhere and then lays it out on the bar. It's always a lot more impressive when I also remember to conceal a pen. She starts writing. Now, Kyoko spends most of her time on computers, so one would assume that her penmanship would be awful, but it is not. With this practiced calligraphic hand, and incidentally, she's like hunched over it to try to prevent anyone else from seeing it. There. And then she rolls it up, and then she unrolls it, and then I didn't put lipstick on this morning. Oh, and then she takes it and then just very gently rubs the edge of the parchment along the side of her neck, and then rolls it back up, and then just with her fingertip touches it, and a small strip of wax just appears over the edge. Now you see, the first step in any courtship is to pretend as if this letter was never meant to be delivered at all. And then she walks over and indicates as she gets into the elevator.
I'm following her.
Yeah, she indicates what? Sorry, I
To the gecko to follow her.
Oh, great.
Anyone else could follow her as well.
Yeah, I'm also really like, it's just thrown into like her incredible work just now, her incredible magic show or courtmanship show has thrown into relief my like stupid stumbling earlier. So I'm kind of like, okay. So I'm like, okay, like where are we going?
So Brahm's going?
I'm going.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head up the elevator, and then she wanders over, and then she tucks the letter into her jeans, which flattens it slightly. And then she delivers a very polite, she looks at the gecko and says like, and the gecko hides behind Brahm. And then she knocks on the door.
Is Mab awake?
Oh yeah, Mab's awake now, and she's got a little hair of the dog going.
All right, I've filled her in on everything. So that would be them. Should I answer? All right. And I head to the door and open it.
At the door is Kyoko. I don't know where Patches and Braum are. I don't know if they're like bumbling along behind or like.
Yeah, we're two faces peeking up from the wall.
Yeah,
around.
tall, short, and Gecko way at the floor.
Lady Sophia,
Lady Kyoko?
I was meant to give you a message that there's to be a picnic today to celebrate the arrival of spring in the garden for lunch.
Well, that sounds lovely. Who gave you the message?
It's a generally known thing in the freehold downstairs.
A party was planned and I didn't know about it?
Oh.
You do know about it. Just now.
Can't argue with that logic.
All right. When does it start?
Luncheon is to begin at 12:30.
And is Mab invited too?
Of course.
All right.
We could never, ever dream of leaving Mab out of such an austere occasion.
Well, then I'm sure we will both be delighted to attend.
The colors are white.
Excellent. I have a few options. I mean, I don't have a lot of time.
Thank you, my lady. And she turns, and as she walks away, the letter falls out and just drops to the ground. And the wax seal bursts. It was not on very hard to begin with. And then she heads directly into the elevator without giving any opportunity for somebody to call her back, and then presses the button and the doors close, leaving the two of you in the hallway.
I mean, I duck around outside, I duck around.
I see you, Braum.
Oh. I've never been very good at hiding. I stumble out.
Pick up the letter.
Okay. So the letter, I mean, the sort of thing, it was folded over, so it's sort of a little creased, but when you pick it up, it starts to unravel, and you could read it if you so chose. It smells very faintly of Kyoko's perfume.
Damn.
Man.
Is that the noise that Sophia makes?
Hey, Sophia, that's my wife. Excuse me.
I said, God damn.
Why are you laughing at me? I don't understand.
Is it addressed to anyone? The letter?
It is written at the very top, the date, but that's it.
All right, then I'm going to start reading it because there was no indication as to who it was for.
She assumes it's for her.
Yeah.
It is written, I simply cannot get the sound of the orchestra of one out of my mind. The idea that I could be so moved simply by listening to the perfect marriage of player, instrument, emotion, composure, and sheer serendipity means that perhaps I may never, ever know of a better sound with which to warm my heart after days of battle.
What does it say?
It's a really nice letter.
I would like to attempt to roll some sort of empathy roll on Sophia because I want to know if she's concealing anything further than it's a really nice letter.
I mean, go for it.
Hooray!
I hope you botch. I hope you botch
Why do
so
you have to
hard.
be like that? What are you?
I hope you botch. I hope you botch so hard.
I hope you botch harder than you've ever botched.
I hope so too, frankly. It's always a good time.
If you quad botch here, Scott, you win at all games.
And we will
All
end the game
games?
immediately and declare you the winner.
All games?
All games.
John, what's my diff here?
We have Krister in the chat right now, I should point out. At least we did. Maybe Krister is gone. No, Krister should still be in chat. Krister, one of the writers for Changeling. And I'm sure that Krister would agree that if you quad botched in this role, that you win all games, period.
Right. I just want to clarify, I'm not using my Gwydion sense to detect if she's lying. I'm trying to like uncover further information about what she might be concealing. If anything.
This is a wits empathy roll.
Wits. I'm witty. That's my diff here,
pretty.
John. Wow, nobody wanted to back me up on that, eh? Okay.
Wimpathy.
Wimpathy.
Eriquin, you're just a delight. Do you know that? You are a delight.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's true. Oh, so witty. John, I'm gonna roll it.
I hope that was serious.
The difficulty is Sophia's, we're gonna say, her manipulation subterfuge.
7.
That was 7, right? Yeah. It's not.
Quad botch. Quad botch.
Botch.
Quad botch.
But no, not at all. That would be very funny. But that was a success. So I had 2 successes. 2 successes.
You want to fill him in there? A 2 success worth? That's
it
not a
is
complete
really-
success.
It is an effusively praising letter. Like it's really romantically written. And not really clear who it's addressed to.
Sophia said, "It's a really nice letter," and I just kind of nod a little sadly. I think she really likes you, Lady Sophia.
Oh, can I do a perception empathy roll?
Yes, you can.
See if he's
This
sad.
would be another Wimpathy.
All right.
Wimpathy!
This will be Wimpathy, and the difficulty will be Brahms' manipulation subterfuge, which is 4, I think.
It is 3. Wait,
Are you kidding?
it is 3.
So your difficulty's 3.
Quad botch. Okay.
Quad botch. If you quad botch this,
7
Scott wins all
successes.
games forever.
7 successes?
Correct.
Yeah.
Lay your heart bare here, Scott.
100%. So, I was born in New York. No, okay. Oh God, this guy. No, I think, yeah, Brahm is. He's not like inconsolable, but yeah, he's a bit sad because, he and Kyoko care very much for one another, but he knows that there's some things about her that he can't seem to find out, and she just apparently now is just laying her heart bare to Sophia, and maybe she feels closer to Sophia than she does to Brahm, and maybe I think he's just feeling very insecure in this moment.
Brom,
Yes.
I don't think this is for me. I think it's for Mab.
A wave of confusion goes over Brahm's face. 7 seconds. He's like, Ab. Ugh.
I mean, aren't you doing some kind of... I assume this has something to do with...
It looks like you're just pointing down at Scott's.
I think it has something to do with your dick.
Don't think it's
Some things do sometimes, yes.
Gecko?
It wouldn't be any better if I said the gecko at this moment. That wouldn't help.
Yeah, the gecko is still hiding behind Brahm, by the way. Hiding. It's not doing a very good job.
Right.
But I should point out that the gecko is also looking at Sophia and not like that at Mab, who is
Right.
still like she's awake, but she is lying in her bed.
For sure. Well, I see. All right. Well,
Well, the light is still spilling onto the bed. Why would you move?
it's true. If you think that's the case, Lady Sophia, perhaps you should deliver it to her.
I will.
if it was so nice.
Bab?
Patches,
I'm calling the elevator.
you're going down.
Mab, I
I'm going
think this
down.
is for you, and you may have heard that we are going to a picnic today. It starts at 12:30. We are to wear white.
White.
I thought you could wear your nice little white sun hat.
This is all I brought.
Patches, when you, I'll get back to Matt in a second. Patches, when you get down, you see that Cog is here, and when you walk into the exhaust, he just
You okay there, Cog?
and he thrusts his hands behind his back.
Oh, cock.
Oh, yes.
What? What are you guessing? Sure.
Was it a gift? Or should I be mad at you?
Sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
My fucking god, you really have to get better at lying.
Why?
What's in your hands?
Nothing.
Don't shove it down the back of your pants. What's in your frickin' hands?
Nothing.
Well, then show them to me. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, uh-huh.
Classic.
So,
And then you feel just this very tiny burst of glamour.
really?
So cute.
I didn't shove anything into the back of my pants.
I'm just gonna start walking around to get behind him.
And he just starts kind of like turning.
Oh my god, this guy.
Good morning, Cog. Welcome to the Spark. Have you had any oatmeal yet?
Oatmeal.
How about some coffee? Would you like some coffee?
Yeah.
All right. And I want to like pour a cup of coffee and then like give it to him, but like fake tripping to try to get him to hopefully reach out for it.
Reach out for the coffee or like just
Yeah.
to dodge away from you?
Either way, I'm trying to get him to like, move his hands.
All right, that's a manipulation. Where's all that manipulation athletics?
Nice.
Sure.
Dexterity, subterfuge.
If
I like it.
Or dexterity subterfuge, whichever one you would prefer.
it's the same pool.
All right,
So-
so your difficulty is 6. Cog's not the
1,
brightest.
2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Burn. Wow. Burn.
Well,
wow.
okay, he's trusting.
Okay.
So
on?
he reaches out to like grab a hold of your hands to try to
yeah.
stabilize, and you see that there is this exquisitely wrought welded rose in his hand.
Sorry about that.
And then he instantly just swipes it back behind his back as if, you never saw it.
So, were you in the workshop last night, or were you coming here from elsewhere?
Oh, hi. I went home last night.
Okay. And that brings you back today.
Well,
Coffee?
This guy.
Sensei Flex, and then sees that your expression and then immediately knows that he's said something wrong.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No?
I mean, if he wants you to call him that, then that's...
Fuck no!
Master?
Yeah, master. I just thought that it was sort of like a term that denotes master and teacher.
Yes, if that person has Japanese heritage, to my knowledge. Sister does not, and you do not.
Well, no, but I watch a lot of anime.
That does not mean that it it's appropriate to use the term sensei in all contexts where someone is your teacher. If you are taking
You're firking the shop.
karate or judo or kendo lessons or stuff like that, you'd probably call them sensei. But you could also just call them master.
Esther told me that it's important that we show gratitude after difficult times. And he just looks away and places the rose on the bar and just like...
Is that for me?
I learned how to weld because of you. So, it's pretty good. It is not perfect. When you pick it up, you notice that he's scorched. He deliberately has scorched the exteriors of the petals, but he didn't do that perfectly, and there's like tiny little scorch marks on the inside of the petals that probably shouldn't be there. It doesn't ruin the overall effect, but I think I left the oven on, and he...
Cog.
Oh no, he's gone.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. And then you hear Zister, who's sitting down at the far end of the bar, just... You're welcome, idiot. You're welcome, idiot. Master, is there a hole in here that I could just crawl into and die? Yes, it's the dungeon. We kept Claude there for like 6 months.
It was a very serious affair. We shouldn't be joking about it. I'm not there yet, sorry.
He once again tries to scuttle off into the
I'll let him.
workshop elevator. He's a bit of a tweaker, isn't he?
Person who takes drugs of a certain type.
One of these days I'm gonna have to get you up on these nomenclatures. Your language skills are developing.
So, Sensei.
If you ever call me that again, if you even so much as breathe those two syllables together, you will be erased.
Yes, Master.
That I'll accept, because I am.
Wow.
Where's your two lesser halves?
Introducing a gecko to Mab. I guess. I don't know. Kyoko wasn't on that.
Kyoko's gone into her room, and I hear her sewing machine working, so what's
But
going
yeah,
on?
there's a garden party and the color is white.
What?
I don't fucking know. Kyoko came up with it as some sort of ruse to set up this gecko with Mab. I think there's some sort of matchmaking going on. I don't understand chimerical love.
It's not about chimerical love.
I don't understand love, you're right.
It's courtly love. And courtly love is not love.
Fuck that.
I need that on a t-shirt.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Chimerical love. Ah, you're right. I don't understand love.
Patches with us.
Patches.
Courtly love is some bullshit Sheely thing that people do.
Yeah, I think it involves using pretty calligraphy and scenting the paper with your perfume and
It involves a very
seals.
elaborate dance of not telling somebody how you feel about them.
Yeah.
You know, sort of like what. And he gets up. Oh.
Yeah, I was like looking around. Yeah, sure don't know anything about that, do we?
Some more than others.
I guess there's a lunch.
What skill should we teach Cog next?
How about how to lie?
Yeah.
Or like, how not to be a fucking pathetic weeb.
Whoa.
That's called being
I come from a long line
16.
of these.
Oh, okay, let's teach him how to not be 16.
That'll take about a year.
Yeah.
Sorry. Got wavelength. Because then it'd be 17.
Mab looks at the parchment. No, it's too much. Yeah. Mab looks at the parchment and she looks up and she's just like,
Really? I thought it was very well written myself.
and then she crawls down and then goes under her bed and then comes back out and she's pulling her little white sun hat out from under it.
Does anything need to be pressed? We have a bit of time.
I get out my flat iron, as I do with Mab's little ribbons on her hat, and straighten them.
She starts tuning herself.
Oh, okay.
So you hear a tiny, like she opens her mouth and you hear a little tiny harp noise, and then she just kind of goes, and then it happens again, as if she's turning the keys by rotating her shoulders. The keys being the.
Oh, someone's getting ready to impress.
And I should point out that the differences are really subtle. Like, I mean, nobody would bother with this much perfectionism, but she seems to be taking it very seriously. Except for one, the middle C is really off, but it happens after she drinks, so she needs to.
Well,
she needs to get that in.
down the hall, John?
Oh yeah, you totally hear like various like twang, twang, twang.
Well, it's just me in the hall now with the gecko, who is Giovannius, but I don't know that yet, so I'm just gonna keep calling him. Or,
I think she said his name out.
oh
I
yeah,
did.
okay, Giovannius.
Giovannius.
Giovannius, right?
You gotta hit the V.
You-
Giovannius.
Yeah, saying it wrong. I kind of look towards the source of the sound and then back down. Actually, I'll sit on the floor. With
He's
the
like listening, and then after each sort of adjustment of a note, he's just. And at each note, he's sort of approving or disapproving until the final one where he's like. And then when she starts tuning the next string, he goes through the same thing again. He seems entranced.
gecko. Musical connoisseur. I don't profess to know too much myself. Well, I can only hope that your meeting is one that is exciting for both of you. It must be nice to meet one's heroes, so to speak.
He's not even listening to you. He's listening to like
Wall.
the strings.
Okay, cool.
But you see like his hands, like his little gecko hands, are kind of like into your stone. He's not like feeling you up. He's just sort of like
good.
like like a reassuring flex,
I'd be okay if he was.
as opposed to a reassuring Zister flex, which is more like, I think you're doing a good job.
Who are you and what did you do with sister?
Well, no.
It's
I mean, Ripley.
Ripley, don't.
Cat, no.
There it is, Chaos
Straight for the
Cats.
camera. Straight for
You
the
with the
camera.
fur.
Oh.
I don't have that kind of courage when it comes to holding cats. Like, I always assume that if I try to hold a cat like that, it will destroy me.
Some do,
Pretty-
it's true.
Pretty docile with the being picked up.
But these guys are pretty cool with that. Wow.
She looks like a goddamn werewolf right now.
Well, I don't want to interrupt your enjoyment.
Brom and Sophia, you hear. I mean, we're dealing with lizards today, and you hear the sounds of shifting scales and leathery wings coming from outside.
I run to the window.
And I move towards Sophia's room, but I don't go in, and I definitely don't let the gecko out of my sight.
And then you hear the sound of a tree branch kind of bending, like a, and then.
Little one. I open the window. I stick my head out.
It is indeed Little One, the young dragon, close to being a toddler dragon at this point.
How are you doing, darling?
And you notice that Little One has a scarf on. Kind of like an aviator's scarf. It is pristine white. She's still only about the size of like a smart car.
You look wonderful. You're here for the picnic? Good. I can't believe this got organized so quickly, and I didn't even know about it.
That cat looks very impressed.
Here, do you want me
No.
to? Yeah. Yeah. Can.
Oh God, it's everywhere.
Isn't that the nature of cats, to be everywhere?
Truth.
Yeah.
Patches, do you have anything to do to prepare for this luncheon?
Yes, I'm gonna put on some white denim overalls.
Whoa.
Uh,
Remember that the second most, we're actually kind of tied in terms of interest in fashion with the she are knockers.
yeah,
Like, it's something that a lot of people forget, but knockers are intensely
yeah.
into fashion.
And I'm just wearing like a tube top underneath, a black tube top underneath. And I've got the cuffs of the legs of the overalls rolled up. And I'm wearing some heeled lace-up boots, some black leather lace-up boots. With chunky heel because we're going to be out in the garden.
Ah, yes, Chunky Heel. Garden Chunky Heel is my Mamas and the Papas cover band. Anyway,
Nice. I like that.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And a white bandana,
Oh,
like a
Like a Rosie the Riveter-esque.
yeah.
nice. Set off the hair.
Yeah. With the white hair and the white
What
bandana.
about you, Brom?
Well, I didn't expect to have to prepare for a costumed garden party, so I'm not wearing anything white. I'm going
He's
to.
not wearing anything. He
I'm
paints
just-
his skin white
What
and
the
goes
hell?
naked.
This is. Oh, damn it! I
If
forgot.
I pour bleach on myself, this should work.
No.
All right,
do
close
not
my
try
eyes
this
and my
at
mouth.
home.
Well, is Zeron here?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Is he?
Has anyone called him?
You
I
can
go
borrow
to.
them. He keeps some things here.
Oh my god! I'm gonna flex right out of his clothes. I'm gonna go and see Kyoko if she'll. I'm gonna knock on Kyoko's office door.
You hear the sound of a sewing machine going.
Kyoko, do you have a quick second, or are you very busy?
Oh, by all means.
I open the door and step in.
You see that Kyoko has one of her mannequins with like several pins stuck into it as various bits of fabric is hanging around, and she seems to be creating a white pantsuit.
Kyoko, what is this?
I made it for you. And it's like way too small for you. It's clearly for her.
Okay. Alright. Well, the thought of it is very kind. I don't need you to solve all of my problems or anything, but I didn't realize there was a garden party today. I don't have anything to wear.
No one did, and it would appear that people are taking things seriously, so here we are.
Should I also take it seriously to keep up appearances? We can be co-conspirators in this. I say that way too loud, for sure.
You could put a white tank top on.
Would that be enough?
I'm certain that your underwear is at least somewhat white. Perhaps also tight.
Excuse me, buddy. I give her a like, here now kind of look. Like, really? I will see
Close
what I can
the door. You need to be measured.
Okay. You.
She proceeds to not measure you.
Oh. Well, in a manner.
And then she proceeds to measure you.
Oh, okay.
And by measure you, she doesn't need to measure you. She knows your measurements. It's
like
Ream sex +1.
I hate autocorrect. I hate it so much.
It's just two fish flopping together.
Oh, white fish.
Reams.
Oh, Ream's very good. Yeah.
That's Stardew.
Yeah.
Fuck autocorrect.
I'll update my character sheet. Thank you all
Fuck
for
that.
this troubling time.
I'm giving play the game to Bream Sex. I'm calling it right now.
Hooray!
Oh wait, no, it's technically that's Kate.
Incredible.
And then she kicks you out of the room.
Okay. Okay, I'll find something to. I'll see you at the garden.
Did you have
party.
any other questions?
No, just about my clothing.
Did you come in here truly for clothing?
I love you.
You're allowed.
Good. Then I may say it with more confidence. I love you, Kyoko.
Why? Because I'll make you clothes after I blow you?
No. Yes. No. Because you are perfect in many different regards. I don't have time to enumerate them now. If you'll excuse me, I must retain some of my dignity.
That's all right. I'm already retaining some of your dignity.
I find somewhere to have a cold shower. That's not this room.
That's not this room.
Right.
Her office doesn't have a bathroom, so
I would have just poured water on myself in there. I don't know. Found some water and poured
like
it
just like pulled open your shirt and let just steam start flying out of it.
on. Exactly.
Anything for you, Sophia?
Well, Sophia is wearing
Oh boy.
white sandals that lace up the legs, with a cute little poodle skirt, dress with a poodle skirt, and a little white capelet,
Oh wow.
and a little white fascinator hat.
When did you get all these things?
She has so many clothes.
Good. Just
So
checking.
many.
Yeah, Sophia's apartment is 50% clothing by weight.
Yeah,
That is probably.
just a lot of shit.
One other thing I should point out is that Claude, having been informed that there's all of a sudden a luncheon, manages to throw one together, and you could almost swear that this is putting him into a slightly better mood. There's just a very simple, long table set out in the garden. It's nothing too ostentatious, nothing too fancy, although a few fairy lights have been put up around in the trees. And it's a very rustic sort of spread, a very springtime, lots of bright fruits.
Sophia's going to quickly circulate a last-minute invite to Zeron and who else do we know, like, well enough that they might drop everything and run over to spend time with us?
Marnie.
Marnie does not live in the city, so that would be a difficult ask.
I'm not changing my answer. No, I'm sure there's.
Gotta go to the luncheon.
She's going to invite the Duke just to see, but he's probably not going to accept. But you never know. You never know.
No.
All right.
He sends his regards and insists on sending Sir Zeron in his place.
No, take him off my hands. I insist. It's very funny. Who else? Yeah.
But when you arrive and everybody's seated, and the luncheon is proceeding. Incidentally, Brahm, you have been given a white tunic.
Oh, that's nice.
And a white tunic and a verdant green leggings and a yellow belt.
I mean, I wear them with pride. There's definitely
You
a part
actually
of
kind of
Brahm-
look good in it. You're a troll. You're very tall. Tunics work for you.
I'm making it work. Mama. I can't help but think maybe I'm being mocked, like a little bit, but I let it go.
More like, this is what I can do in this short amount of time for you, buddy.
What, you want me to go home and get my only t-shirt?
It's just a pillowcase and a belt.
Yeah, basically.
With a hole in it.
Reminds me of Halloween 1983.
Wait, what happened to our sheets?
Oh man, I'm sleeping on the couch again. That's very funny. I am barefoot to better praise the sun, to better honor the springtime. I'm barefoot.
Arr.
Arr. Bare feet.
It does not take doesn't take a genius to notice that this party came together as a result of a offhanded comment that was potentially a lie.
You mentioned party in front of Sophia, and it happens.
But Zilvanius is seated at the opposite end of the table from Mab and Sophia, because I assume that Mab and Sophia are sitting somewhat close together. He is wearing little white spats on his paws.
That's so charming. Sorry.
Those little hands. And is doing his very best to manipulate a very tiny fork and a very tiny knife, and is cutting up a fly, but trying not to be very obvious about it, but just
Well, I clink my glass a few times and stand. May I have everyone's attention, please? Just for a brief moment. I promise to be brief.
Talus just kind of, he snorts as if he finds something funny, and then just, it's nothing.
You want to go a little bit? No, I'm just, whoa. No. Oh, yeah, I'm just kidding. I took you once, I can, okay, all right.
Rocket punches you with his mechanical arm.
With his cyber arm, I just go, oh, damn.
Thanks, Patches. I really appreciate you tooling this up for me.
Yeah.
The anti-Brahm package really works. Events are 25% less awkward now.
Nice. Well, I don't have much to say. Just wanted to thank everyone for being here. Once again, it is truly an honor to be amongst such good friends, and I think it's important to acknowledge that every once in a while. The things for which we are grateful. So today, I am grateful for good friends, both new, and I motion towards Giovannius.
Yeah, that's it. Hit the V.
And old, and I start to motion towards Zister, and then I like stop immediately, and I'm just like, oh.
No, it's all right. Say it.
You are an old friend, sister.
That's right. We
Right.
are old friends. We've known each other for a long time.
That's correct. And well, here's to the spark, and here's to friendship.
To the spark and friendship.
I have worn boxers under leggings.
I too probably have actually.
Loose boxers or boxer shorts? Or boxer briefs, though, because...
They were boxer briefs.
Yeah, see. Those
Because
leaves
boxer
work better.
shorts, it would look quite.
Yeah, it'd be like too much extra fabric.
Silly.
It feels like it's Rip-On Brom game.
Scott, have you considered playing a character not named Braun? Just kidding.
Sophia,
Yes.
could I have you roll your perception empathy, please? Aragorn, it will never work out. Your name starts with E.
Are we sure it's
Caragwin.
Caragwin? Caragwin sounds like a bad Blizzard OC.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah.
Insightful.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Whoop.
That's 4.
All right. So, you see Ziavanius, who is eating his fly, but Ziavanius is also every once in a while looking up at Kyoko. And during Brahm's speech, you can see that Kyoko is standing there and, not standing, she's sitting there and she's looking up, and there's the faintest pallor of blush on her cheeks. And you notice that occasionally she is glancing from Brahm to you to Brahm, and holding her hands just so in a basket in front of her. So not fingers interlaced, but like that. Just like that, and just glancing between the two of them. And Ziavanius is watching that first. Oh, shit, Aragorn. God damn it.
Damn.
It's true. It might be Twitch, Alfarius. It's Sunday night, and it's don't go out. So.
Are others having issues?
It's not us. Where stats are
Okay,
green across the board.
cool.
So I notice all the noticing and turn to Mab, who's next to me. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that Ziavanius over there wants to speak to you. Are you all right with that?
So, Mab gets up onto the table, and she starts walking, strutting along the table, and then parks herself down directly in front of Ziavanius. And Ziavanius is... And then Mab plays 2 very simple but pure notes. And Ziavanius just relaxes slightly into it as he's listening, and then Mab turns her head, thwacks him across the face with her tail, and just struts back to her seat next to you.
Oh, damn.
And Ziavanius looks crushed. And Mab sits down and goes right back to having a pleasant conversation with Sophia that Sophia can't really understand.
Well, fair enough. This
And
is
then-
your decision.
Kyoko just reaches out and with one finger, as Ziavanius is turning to go away, just stops and just gently guides him back to where he was before and just double taps him on the back twice. As opposed to double tapping.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, Kyoko, no! It's a garden party.
That would definitely be Kyoko's move.
And then I just crouch above their head a bunch of times.
Oh, well, this is happening.
Sophia,
Yes.
you feel abruptly a gentle scrape of paper against your ankle.
I look down.
There's a tiny strip of paper that has appeared and is tucked inside the weave of your sandal.
Ooh. I'm gonna
That's cool.
take it and try to read it as discreetly as possible.
Okay.
You're very
In the meantime, Cog, who is sitting next to you, is very studiously trying to push the food around on his plate to not look like he isn't
Eating.
eating. His concession to wearing white right now is he's got a white napkin.
Yeah.
So not even like a pocket square,
Yeah.
but a napkin
Yeah.
that has been placed very delicately inside his jacket, which is worn over his t-shirt and jeans.
Okay.
He hasn't learned the fashion part yet.
That's okay. Not your style?
Oh, I mean, it's fruit. Who doesn't like fruit? Some people at school would say that I am a fruit.
I mean, vitamins are important.
Yeah, vitamins. Yeah, vitamins.
What's going on?
You don't like the rose.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, it's... I couldn't get the scorch marks out of the petals, and
Oh my freaking god. You did a good job. You really did. I'm really happy. Thank you. What, do you want me to hug you or something?
Ew, God, no, gross.
Hey, good.
He did.
Desperately.
Hugging is... It'd be weird. You're weird.
Okay, thanks. I did like it quite a lot. You did a good job.
I feel like hugging my sister.
Okay.
Pump the brakes, kid.
Like this 3-generation knocker family that's happening here.
Yep.
Kind of.
Can I go to the Grand Best Inn
Yes.
when it opens?
Yes.
I've never been.
As long as we can convince your family that there's a reason for you to be gone for a few days.
I think my
Science
family
camp
kind of
round
likes
two?
it when I leave.
Well, it's difficult.
I set a
Dealing
few
with-
fires
Mortal families.
in the basement.
Yeah. Maybe save flammable experiments for the spark.
Hey, when the new wing opens up, is Queen Lenore gonna be
Yes. But you're gonna have to work on your subtlety much more before
there?
that
What
day.
are you talking about? We had a good, I met her at Brahms' wedding.
Yep.
The whole table just says, "We
We
know."
know!
God, it's disgusting.
All right. You are a spy. You're on a mission.
Okay. What's the mission?
can't reveal your true identity.
Got it. I'm Chester Bakur.
Sure, Chester. Where were you born?
Kiev.
Oh, tell me about Kiev.
Fuck. Kiev, North Carolina.
Oh, wow. What was it like growing up? Were you near the ocean?
It's North Carolina.
The Carolinas are on the East Coast, aren't they?
I thought they were on the West Coast. Oh, fuck.
Etc.
Why do I have to be a spy?
It's a thought experiment to try to get you better at lying.
Oh. Okay. I was born in New York City.
Cool.
That's why I'm so sophisticated.
Neat. And, what brings you to this lovely garden party?
I'm here to assassinate the freeholder.
I don't think that's something you should tell me.
I don't think that's something you should tell me. Oh, I'm here to negotiate the release of political prisoners.
Okay.
There aren't any political prisoners here.
That also really sounds like the kind of thing you do when you've, like, taken people hostage.
But you said I was a spy.
Yes, you are, and so spies are supposed to pretend to be really normal.
Oh, I'm here to serve food.
There you go.
But why are you shitting at the table? Oh, I'm here as an invited guest. Who invited you? He's terrible at this.
We'll find a less abstract set of experiments for him.
Angelic, I know that. Cog does not know that.
Good. I'm just glad that I was correct.
Yes, you were correct.
I
Yeah.
was just like, shit.
Cog's confusing the Dakotas
Yep.
and the Carolinas.
Yep. Well, Cog, yes, you are absolutely welcome to come to the Grand Bastion. It's opening.
The letter says, please meet me in, where would it say? Please meet me just outside Talus's office in 5 minutes.
Is it signed by anyone?
No, but it has a trace of perfume on the piece of paper.
Right.
That just takes it, licks it. Ah. Yes.
Tastes like bunny. Come here, bunny. Let me see you taste like this. Is that what you do?
No.
Eidetic taste? No?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not with that voice. No.
Not like that.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why you play patches and I don't.
Point.
Not good enough to play patches.
Deal?
You do.
Not if I talk like that, I'm not. Brom?
Yes. I'm just generally trying to enjoy the company here. I guess I'm asking Sir Zeron about any of his latest adventures, if he's been away.
I have a very promising student.
Do you?
Yes. He's only 15 years old, and yet at the same time, he has brushwork that I've just never seen at someone his level.
It must be very inspiring for you.
The only problem that I'm having is that he only wants to paint Ninja Turtles. They are excellent interpretations of Ninja Turtles, but no matter what I ask him for, he always has to sneak one of them in. I asked him for a cityscape at night, and there one was, poking his head out of a sewer. I asked him for a desert scene, and hiding behind one of the camels, there was a bow and a little purple bandana underneath. He has to put Ninja Turtles in everything.
Do you think that it's his mark as an artist to try to bring in something that he loves into his work?
The only problem is that he doesn't own the rights to use the Ninja Turtles.
Perhaps it is a comment on consumer culture or something. I'm not much of an artist myself.
I'm all for letting him express himself. At the same time, he wants to be a commercial artist, and I'm going to have difficulty with him creating a portfolio to get into an illustration or a painting program in university if he insists on putting Ninja Turtles in everything.
I am certainly not the teacher that you are, but have you tried confronting him?
Have you tried beating him?
You tried throwing him to the wolves and letting him deal with it?
You tried flicking him out your window?
I hear it works, wonders, yeah. I am curious, Roseron, whether you perhaps confronted him over this matter, asked him why he mocks you, or why he insists upon his signature.
Do you ask the flower why it blooms early? Or do you merely appreciate the beauty of it? In time, he'll learn. But he may need a sharp rebuke from someone who is not his teacher for him to learn that there is a time and a place for his expression if he is looking to benefit commercially from his work.
I've found, and I'm sure you have as well, that the
Foot up my
So-
ass clan. I mean, up his ass. Shit.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
God damn it. Anyway.
I'm sure you found in your life as well, the rebukes that stick with you the most are the ones that come at the worst possible moment. Those moments of pressure.
Of course. But pressure creates a diamond, as we see before us. He's looking at you.
Oh, okay. I was like, I looked to Sophia.
I don't know if Sophia's still there.
She's waiting the requisite 5 minutes.
It's about time.
Spend mode.
She gets up and leaves.
Well,
Peace, bitch.
I accompany
Excuses
her.
herself to go to the washroom.
Oh, I do not accompany her. So you've got this one, girl. You go. I don't say that.
my
Obviously. I'm sorry.
God.
I try to engage Mab in a conversation.
Mab
about her
seems very interested in this, and she is...
So I must admit, I don't have any rough cuts of her new EP, was it? But I can't wait to hear what kind of music that you've created.
So Mab just very carefully climbs up Brahm's arm and then puts her mouth coquettishly towards your ear and starts singing, playing a very impromptu track from her new EP. And every once in a while, she's doing it so quietly that only you can hear, but every once in a while she just glances over at excuse me, I'm sorry.
You are, sir. You are.
Water?
Zivanius. Water would be great if you could, thank you. And just and just every once in a while glances over at him and then just comes back and whispers. And he is, if geckos could blush,
Yeah.
there he is.
I try to whisper it, like, as you know, I try to whisper just to Mab. Thank you for the music. I can't wait to hear the fully produced version. But don't you think you're being a little cruel to Ziovanius?
And she leans forward and gives you a very slight on the cheek.
Oh, that's nice.
Ziovanius very elaborately just...
I kind of look up at Kyoko.
She's not there.
Okay, I look up at Kyoko and I go, oh, I see. I look towards Talus. Were Kyoko and I ever like this? I guess actually I looked at Patches. Probably should be more honest about it, if I may.
No. You were,
Good.
I'm still not sure how the two of you managed to communicate.
Well, we do our best to be honest with one another. And try to express our feelings. That's how good lines of communication work. Isn't that right, Sir Zeron? Sorry, isn't that right, Lady Sophia? Oh, right, Sir Zeron.
What on earth are you talking about? Your wife lies to you all the time.
Well, that's different.
Kyoko had a very singular mission. Seek and destroy, and she did.
My will to resist her.
Exactly.
That ass.
Ah, yes. Butthole Memories, the cat story.
Excuse. Very true. Well,
Could you
couldn't be
ever
happier,
resist
so-
such an assault?
I pride myself on being able to resist most things, but no, I don't think I could.
Would you want to?
No. She's,
Are you happy?
I am. And she is truly one of a kind.
Sophia,
Yep.
as you are walking down the hallway towards the office, you see that the door is open and there's frosted glass in the door. And there is a silhouette behind the frosted glass, still standing in the hallway, but just because the door is open out into the hallway itself, thus concealing from prying eyes what would be going on, but yet still confirming that there is someone waiting there.
It's very cool.
I give a light knock on the door, I guess.
On the other side. Or if perhaps this is easier for you, we could stay on either side of the door.
I poke my head around the door.
It's Kyoko.
Well, sure, yeah, okay.
Perhaps it's best if we're not too forward with each other.
Is something wrong?
Yes. No, of course not. But if this Ziavanis is ever going to learn anything about how to court somebody in this particular fashion, he's going to have to learn.
He just needs to talk to her. And she needs to talk to him, and then they'll decide if they want to get to know each other better.
I don't think it's as complicated as they're making it out to be, or he's making it out to be.
I see.
You seem very invested in this, Kyoko.
I've never had anybody court me before.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Well, then it seems like maybe we should be hinting at Brahm to step up his game a little bit.
It's not about that. Courtly love is a game. It's a very cruel game played by many different players. It's the national sport of Concordia in some seely places.
Well, as you know, I'm still relatively new to the whole court thing.
The object of courtly love is to play out the dance of love offered and rejected, of feelings mistakenly revealed, of minions playing a proxy war behind the curtain of the ongoing events at a freehold, all in an attempt to have two young lovers possibly have one moment of happiness. Or that they swear an oath of true hearts and they remain together for all eternity. There are different outcomes.
This all sounds incredibly superficial to me. It just sounds like it's being orchestrated and manipulated by outside forces.
Exactly.
So how do we know that the oath at the end of it all is, in fact, for true hearts? See, there are so many things about court life I never understood and didn't miss when I wasn't a part of it. I think this is one of them.
In any game, at the end, where there are prizes, the prizes are sometimes different. You'll find that occasionally, towards the end of all of this, should the two decide to have their tryst, the tryst could last all of 20 seconds of merely staring into each other's eyes and then deciding that that's that, and then they leave. It could last a fling, a season. Towards the end, everybody is constantly tired of hearing about it, and so they decide that in the end they should simply seek other partners because that's more interesting to the rest of the court. An oath of true hearts isn't sworn unless there is an actual true heart involved.
Good.
Oh. You seem to understand it better than I do.
I was always the one on the sidelines. I would be the one to deliver the notes. This, of course, is when I was 15, and I was recruited by various she who thought that perhaps a puka would be able to discover true feelings through conversation.
It was wrong of them to use you like that.
Wrong of me to be part of the game?
No, wrong of them to use you like that.
I
and
could
not
have
see
said
your
no.
true worth for who you are.
Do you think I was interested in those she?
No.
No. But I was happy to be a part of something greater than I was. A way to celebrate love that involved the entire freehold instead of just merely two people. But it isn't a game for everyone. Apparently it isn't a game for you.
No.
Mab's enjoying it.
Mab is enjoying it, but we are very much not the same in all matters.
I don't see why the entire freehold should be involved in my romantic affairs. She sees differently.
Well, he isn't even here, so the lesson is somewhat moot.
Have you spoken to Brom about what you spoke to me about a while ago?
Yes, of course I did.
No, you didn't.
I did. I took him out back to the shed and I showed him.
Okay.
Everything's fine. He's perfectly aware of what happened and he's supporting me in that.
Whatever you say, Kyoko.
Okay. The silhouette. I don't know if you're like still up with your head around the door, or whether you're talking to her through the frosted glass. Which one?
I think I'm like leaning against the wall between, like.
So you can see her.
Yeah, I can see her.
So her ears are normally down. After you say whatever you say, Kyoko, her ears just like drop flat against the sides of her face. There's a party. We should both be there.
And I reach for her hand.
We should both be there.
Okay. After you.
Of course, my lady. And she heads down the hallway, and her shoulders straighten, and her spine lengthens, and her ears like give that slight little raise again, and then she is headed down the hallway.
I stay for a minute pondering this. And
You can make a roll if you want.
Sure, yeah. Perkempathy?
Yep. Perkempathy.
Sir, Perkenthrin.
Perkenthopy!
Insightful?
Yes.
Is the diff any different for her?
For Kyoko, the diff is 8.
Oh. That's 5 successes.
Fuck.
Yeah, that was a really good roll. I don't know.
Yay.
The worst thing that you can tell her is whatever you say,
Yeah.
because it means that people are no longer trying to understand what she's trying to say. It means that they have given up. This is her interpretation, not what your intention was, just to be clear.
Okay.
I'm not trying to puka-splain you. But it means that somebody has basically been like, okay, well, I'm not actually seeking the meaning in what you're saying anymore, or I have no more interest in trying to understand, or I have no more interest in you trying to explain yourself. And to her, that means that she has failed in her task as somebody to get somebody to think of these sorts of things. And it's sort of also the sort of thing that Puka hear a lot of from nobility.
Is she still close enough that I could call her back?
Yeah, I mean, she has big ears. She can hear.
Kyoko.
Back to you. Ziovanius at this point is now like gnawing on his own arm in jealousy, as Mab is now offering Brahm her drink.
No, I couldn't possibly.
And then picks up a grape and rolls it on the table towards him.
Okay,
Oh my
thank
God.
you. No, I'm completely stuffed.
He's trying to make you jealous. She's succeeding.
Zivian,
You're letting her win. She doesn't give a fuck about Brahm. She's literally using it.
well now, hey, he's a hero. He's saved her life.
No, it's...
I don't think Mab gives a fuck about anyone except for Sophia, okay? Not just Brahm.
Mab looks at you.
Perhaps this young gecko here likes the cruelty. I didn't want to think it, but perhaps this is the case.
I'm not interested in being a party to this drawn-out, over-dramatic display.
We made the mistake of having Unseelie present.
This is an Unseelie freehold. What the frick do you expect?
I was invited to a luncheon. I'm not certain what anyone else is trying to imply here. Zeron, by the way. Zeron is wearing poofed arm and shoulders with a deep V.
Oh, wow. How deep is it? Yeah,
pretty
cheers.
deep.
Absolutely.
But very white and very roughly.
That's nice. That's 2.5 seconds.
And Giovannius turns around and he climbs down, of course, head first, right? Because he sticks. He climbs down the table and he goes towards one of the trees and climbs up it and then just flattens himself out over it. Is there dessert? I'd really like dessert. I mean, I realize there's been fruit everywhere, but like dessert is something that's bad for you with a lot of fat in it and sugar.
At least some cream to go with the fruit.
And Mab is like, dessert.
Perhaps I could go and find Claude, see if there's anything that I could do to assist him.
I'm on my way. I've got dessert. God damn it. You just have to wait for like 2 seconds. I'm right here.
Wanted to offer to help you.
And he's carrying angel food cake in both of his hands. And he sets them down on the table with a certain amount of flourish. And there's like this glazed drizzle around some of them. And then he produces cinnamon rolls.
Ooh.
And puts them out.
One of each.
Old Chaos Cat back here.
Oh, damn.
Going on an adventure.
Oh, that cat's like your Netrunner cards are forfeit.
My shit!
She's just like, I'm just gonna perch up here and be tall.
Yeah, she's good. Okay.
She's in gargoyle mode.
Fucking cute.
Talk amongst yourselves. I have to answer a question.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I take one of each.
One whole cake and one cinnamon roll?
Well, I
is that-
assume they're small, or then I take a single person portion of each. Because they both seem amazing.
Looking at my
Sorry.
Well, I kind of like, my eyes are darting back and forth between Mab and the Giovannius, who's now flattened himself in a tree. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, he's just like hanging on a branch, just like.
God. Well, perhaps another toast then, and I stand up again. I back my chair up and I stand up again. To Claude, to good food, and to love, to spring.
Why not to love? What's wrong with love? I'll toast to love.
All right, Talus.
I like try not to look at the bird on his shoulder.
To love then.
Yeah, the bird's still there. And then Zister looks at Talus, and you get the distinct impression that he is not noticing the bird on the shoulder.
Uh-oh.
What does that mean?
The silent songbird, because he broke his marriage oath,
That he is not noticing.
and he's ignoring the fact that he's got the silent songbird.
Hmm.
So it implies that he is not currently bothered by that.
Could
fact.
be like looking past it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
Could be good.
Love blossoms anew. Hopefully.
Ah.
Kyoko turns around.
I shouldn't have said that. I apologize.
It's all right.
I care about you very much, and I worry.
What are you worried about?
That you try to be there for everybody and neglect yourself along the way.
It's more complicated than that, isn't it?
I don't know if it is. And we ask you if everything's fine, and you say, of course, everything's fine. And our impulse is to take you at your word, but we forget.
Is my word
And-
not worth taking?
That's it. I want to believe you when you say that you're all right and not to worry about you.
There's a difference between believing my words and believing my intentions. Is your willpower there?
Let's see. 7, I believe.
A gentleman's 7. I don't know where
Oh
the character
god, it's all the way over there.
Oh, sorry. There's dice on here.
It's okay. I think it's 7. Yeah, it's 7.
Okay.
Kyoko.
She's going to get 3 personal questions out of you. You can spend 1 point of willpower per question to resist answering them.
Cool.
But you get to spend it when she asks the question. I should point out, though, that when she's doing this, it's not like she's conscious of like having this used on her. So like if you spend the willpower, that's just because you're like, I really don't want to answer, and it takes a slight toll on you later to
Right.
resist.
It's not like, yeah, you're not, I assume you're not like, Kyoko, blah."
Right.
What truly does trouble you?
I'm troubled that I believe you haven't told Brahm the truth. It's none of my business, but I'm still worried about both of you.
Do you believe that this lessens me?
I don't. Not at all.
This does not count as one of the questions. Then why does it matter if I haven't told him?
Because you not telling him you think that it lessens you. Or you worry that he'll think that it
So that's
lessens
me,
you.
not Kyoko.
Yeah. What?
My like reaction to your answer was me, not Kyoko's reaction.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it because I'm looking into the camera.
Oh.
I'm sure it was great.
Brahm loves me. And I think he doesn't quite realize yet just how much that affects him. He loves me, and yet at the same time, he's learning that his love and my love and our expressions of that love is not a zero-sum game. And yet he resists. He finds jealousy in him. Do you think that that means that... This is also not one of the questions. Do you think that this means that I should submit to the one who I love the most?
This is not a question that I should answer for you, Kyoko.
There's so many things that are inside the things that I've done and the things that I feel that I don't always know if it's easy for me to speak with him about it, because I don't want to hurt him. I don't want him to love me less.
But instead, if you're keeping so much from him, he's only loving half of you.
Is ignorance not bliss?
It's not true.
True love.
Do you want your love to be true? Because otherwise, I don't believe it is love.
True love is for people like you.
No. No, everyone is entitled to true love, Kyoko. That's just... And I don't mean one person for one person and that's it. That's how it is for many people. But I mean a love between individuals that is true. And you're entitled to that. You deserve it, and I wish you believed it.
This is the last question.
Okay.
Do you think that these issues of mine are preventing you from seeing me in any other way?
It won't make me love you any less, Kyoko.
Could you send Brahm here for me, please?
Of course.
She, by the way, she can't look at you at the moment. She's feeling incredibly guilty, incredibly vulnerable, and incredibly commoner.
I scuttle on over to Brahmi Brahm, who's probably making another toast. What do we think?
To the sun that brings us warmth in this time of gray.
To the sun!
Mab, by the way, has ceased her attentions on Brahm. She's now
sure.
turned to Sir Zeron, who is amused, but very gently just shutting her down at each opportunity. When she leans forward, he turns and looks at her. I appreciate what you're trying to do. I can't say that I'm not flattered, and yet at the same time, this would be inappropriate. I have an existing relationship with your roommate.
But co-songwriter, co-musician, bandmate.
Brahm?
Yes.
Brahm. Ba ba Brahm. Shibida ba Brahm.
Ba, ba, boo, bam. Oh, wow.
Kyoko would like to see you.
Is it anything, is it an emergency?
It's serious, but it's not an emergency.
I shove my chair over as I make a... I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I'm like, get the fuck out of my way! And I rush for the door.
If Queen Lenore is at the Grand Best Inn, and I did want to say hi, could you arrange that?
Yes. I would make sure that it would be an appropriate time and place for such a meeting to be happening, seeing as she is the High Queen, and it will be a very official event.
I will give you my foil Jace if you can make this happen.
Oh.
A what?
I assume that's important to you.
Yeah.
So, yes. You'll just have to promise to not try to seek her out outside of whatever I arrange.
Jeez.
Okay.
Is Patches the madam in this instance? What's
Hot.
happening?
That's so hot.
Patches, what have you gotten
I'll
embroiled
arrange
in?
for a meeting.
Thanks. You're a real bro.
Ooh.
I'll also assume that's a good thing.
Yeah? No, I was gonna...
Yeah.
Ow.
Bingo!
You were in the military.
It's not. I
Don't punch me.
assumed player-on-player violence was bingo.
Yeah, it should be.
This is violence?
I strip Cog. And by strip, I don't mean his clothing. I mean like a stripped Cog. Like he doesn't work anymore. It's a bad gear. Ah, shit.
I see what you're doing there.
I liked it.
Brom?
Yes. I was just told to go inside, so I'm like on the hunt for Kyoko.
She's
Kyoko?
still in the hallway.
Are you here? Oh, you're there.
She's taken off her jacket and hung it on the doorknob. She's just wearing a white vest, so like she's sleeveless at the moment.
Lady Sophia told me it was serious.
I'm not Cog.
I was about to say you sound a lot younger all of a sudden.
You can't believe everything you hear.
Oh. All right, I was worried. Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine.
I don't need to be a knight of House Gwydion to know that that's not 100% true.
It's the laziest form of lying.
You've always been very creative in your half-truths. I admire that.
I stole from you.
Oh.
I returned what I stole, but I stole from you, and I need to be brought to justice.
Well, Lady Kyoko, theft can be justified under certain circumstances, I would argue.
I
Perhaps
stole
if you were...
Whisper.
Oh,
I stole your treasured sword.
well, there's certainly very few people I would trust it with.
I used it.
You used it to kill, or...
I used it to unmake.
I see. Would you like to tell me what was the target of your ire?
I'm not certain I did it out of ire. I was sanctioned by the government, Her Royal Majesty. The leader of Broken Flight, Bo Lee.
I see.
I unmade him. I did not kill him. He no longer exists.
You, I take it you don't believe that he deserved a chance at another life, then?
He was sentenced to die. I almost carried out that sentence.
He was sentenced to die so that he could be reborn. Do you not agree?
He still will be. His soul is intact.
Well, that's a silver lining.
Yes. Silver.
Kyoko, I don't want to make this about me. Were you worried that I wouldn't understand? That I would try to stop you?
Yes. I was worried that you would encourage me not to do it, or that you would plead for clemency.
I did. It was not my decision to make, but I said my piece. I said what I believed. It turns out you were handed the power to carry
I
out.
was not handed it. I asked for it. I requested it. I contacted Seven. I had him deliver a message. It was received. And who would take away the right of a companion of the Golden Braid to execute the Queen's justice?
You are familiar, I'm sure, with tales of firing squads loaded with blanks, except one, so that they could not be sure who amongst them was truly a murderer. We could have done this together.
If you did not believe he deserved to die, why would I put that pressure on you?
It
But
was
I
decided.
believed he deserved to die. And I went behind your back. I used your weapon to do it. And then I did not tell you. For months.
And I am. There's a part inside of me that is a very old part of me that stretches back, I think, many thousands of years, that simply wants to rage and shout and smash this door to bits.
Why don't you?
Because
Show me the
Kyoko,
passion that I knew, that I know exists within you.
because I can be passionate about more than just destructive things, emotions.
It's part of who we are.
Exactly, Kyoko. And a bigger part of who I am is knowing that I love you and that I want to know why you would do these things. Why would you not? This was so important to you that you felt you had to betray me. At least that's how it seems.
Because I couldn't tell anyone.
Ah.
Because who would believe me when I said that everything was fine? That everything was all right? Everyone. Everyone would believe me. And so maybe it's better that we apply to our base natures, and that I do what I have to do under a cheerful lie, and that you can adhere to your duty and honor, which is so much better than a lie.
I would. If it meant being able to keep you, I think I would throw away this honor of mine.
What?
Do you know, we watched that movie a few years ago. It was one of those Matrix films. There was a scene where the man, the one, I think, he has to decide between saving a people and saving the woman that he loves. And I believe he is the first to go back. I feel like that in this moment. I don't think that's a betrayal of my core values, because I am honorable, but not to ideals. I can have honor and I can respect anything. I have an oath to you, and upholding it is important. Am I making any sense, or am I just blathering again like I do so often?
You would have been so much better suited for Patches.
What? I don't think so. Kyoko, it's not that honor is a lie. It's simply that I want you to understand that I would do anything to try to understand you better. I want to get to know you.
You're not being fair.
I try to apply justice fairly. What do you mean?
You're supposed to hate me.
I can hate you and love you at the same time. I don't see why those are...
You seriously would have been better with Patches. She at least understands the Sealy code and understands.
I'd like to come in and try to hold her in this moment. I don't know if that's what she wants.
She doesn't cry,
Okay.
but she just sinks into your arms and stays there for about as long as Giovannius stays in a tree.
Eternity, then.
And I think we'll end the session there.
Yay! Clap, 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 clap.
Clap,
Round of
clap, clap,
applause,
clap,
round of
clap, clap,
applause.
clap, clap, clap.
The return of the Chaos Cat.
Well.
I mean, those cats, man. There's a part of me that misses those cats, but it's a small part.
Yeah.
I can't. How did we even do it when they were both disruptive? Like this time it was just Ripley.
I mean,
A lot of spray bottle.
Yeah.
Spray bottle. We literally had the stream cut a few times because they would just be like, "Yeah, we can turn this off. Cool."
Yeah.
Knock this down. I opened up an old Exalt Switch episode today, and
My
it was
God.
like it opened with Kate with Ella on her lap, and she was just like, "Stay, like just like don't go anywhere." Like it was the first moment. It's very funny.
Love it, Krister.
Sophia, who would you pick to be your crying person? Like a whipping boy, but for crying.
Yeah, I actually think that Sir Zeron would have the
Oh.
most beautiful tears of anyone.
Good.
So yeah. And his hair would be like blowing in the breeze at the same time.
Like paint tears on his face.
Yeah.
Well, we have a fancy corner coming up. And I mean, one of the things that I'm going to ask, I'm just going to ask the audience first, whether or not the tech was okay this time around. Because, you know, obviously we, once again, new setup, same equipment, new setup. Although various different parts of the equipment having been used at various different times. That microphone was occasionally a microphone that I would use during Exalt Twitch, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This
And this
puppy's
has
been through quite a bit
This has been
actually.
the punchy microphone since
Not quite.
almost the beginning of
Yeah,
punchy.
not quite the
Yeah.
Used to have that old other AT. You remember the one?
Yeah.
Oh, Ripley.
2100, I think.
The concept of a whipping boy, the idea that you're not allowed to strike a royal person, so they basically got you a friend, and the job of that kid was to be your friend right up until the point where you did something wrong, at which point they would beat your friend because they weren't allowed to beat you. Oof. Just like,
Do you think they would learn? I don't think I would learn.
some of them would, some of them weren't. Your options for the play of the game are live now. Sophia yeets a new guest into the freehold and out of her apartment.
Perfect.
Patches attempts to teach Cog to lie.
Perfection.
Or Brahm shares dadding tips with Zeron and courtly tips with Patches. That's vote 0, 1, or 2 now.
Ooh. Aragwen, I'm not going to tell you anything more that happened after that. You're going to have to guess.
But they gained a station at court later. Yeah, that's a trade-off.
That's fair. No, I can tell you.
I'm going to start with mine. First and foremost, today I learned that none of my players is actually at all interested in courtly love as a concept.
We're all like, nah.
Well, it doesn't go with Sophia's MO.
Oh, I knew about Sophia.
Okay, good.
I was more thinking that Brahm would potentially get into it or that Patches might find it amusing. But apparently...
No, that's a really good, like, if I can jump in here, I guess this could sort of double as what I learned as well. I don't know, yeah, I hadn't really, it's obviously a big part of the Sealy, like, kind of culture, in a way, anyway, not everywhere. But I guess, yeah, I think, I didn't really think about it before, John, until today. And, like, yeah, based on Brahm's track record, I certainly don't think he, like, goes in on that ritual specifically, you know? Even though I'm sure he could, but like that's more Zeron's jam, right?
I did not have them aside romantic legacies. Romantic legacies are actually it's a legacy rule, to use the other kind of legacy from Noble's The Shining Host, which is right over there. Believe me, that Noble's The Shining Host I'm very attached to. It's an interesting thing. One of the things that I'll notice though is that player characters can sometimes, actually often I would say, be counterculture and resist things like, courtly love, feudalism. I want a title, but I don't want anybody to actually believe I'm better than them. And like that's because you want to portray somebody who you believe has a good moral compass, and the idea of courtly love is out of date because it sort of was from a time when you weren't allowed to even so much as like touch somebody unless you were betrothed. So, there's some interesting ideas there. Sometimes people kind of get into it and they're like, yes, I can finally have a storybook romance, but clearly none of you are that interested in even having a lizard have a storybook romance.
I think it would have been different if we, because we started from a commoner freehold from the beginning. I think we all got into a certain mindset, and so as soon as then all these courtly impositions start to come in, we're like, oh, that's so different. Like
that's not how we do things.
Yeah,
here.
but maybe if we had started in a these same characters, but starting off in court, things would have been different.
In my case in particular, it was that they had to go through proxies and stuff because they can't actually speak. So it meant that they had to be even more dramatic about it.
Oh, they could speak, but it had to be like Romeo and Juliet on her balcony-esque kind of like
subterfuge.
Well,
I just mean like the fact that they're lizards rather than, people that can speak English to each other or to us even. So it all had to be very demonstrative. So to Patches, it was just like, oh my god, just fucking talk.
Why don't you say what you here? Sorry. Why don't you? I'm going to start with Kate because I can hear her if I don't have this in, and we'll learn what you learned. Okay. But first, I am just going to point out that today, it turns out that being a teacher has some advantages. It is Kate.
Hooray!
Who wins today's play of the game?
Hooray!
Teaches.
Yay!
Lie.
I had to have learned something. I learned that she wants to protect Cog and not drag this poor young queen into a bunch of scandal over her little apprentice not knowing how to keep it on the DL.
True.
Basically, she's going to teach him how to keep things on the DL without necessarily blatantly talking and using her own personal example. Because she doesn't want to necessarily bring that into the spotlight either.
I really.
It's funny, I don't actually know where my copy of Nobles the Shining Host is.
Oh, yeah.
Gasp.
Which
In
is
another castle.
which is bad. I mean, that book's valuable. What?
I'm just wondering if we have it.
You
we
lent us some, but I thought we gave them back, but we'll double check.
If you did, great. The thing is, it's very, very possible that that book was borrowed by somebody before we even started playing.
Oh, sure.
So you might have it, you might not. But I wanted to show, this is actually my one of my most prized Changeling possessions because of who signed it in here.
What's it say? I can't read it.
It says, "To John, may the dreaming continue to bless you with a steady flow of glamour. Krister, M. Neale." Or Mikkel. I'm afraid I don't actually know how to pronounce your last name.
Wow, though. Wow.
So I'm lucky. Liz, what did you learn?
Sophia thought that she could look the other way about Kyoko not telling Brahm, but it bothered her a lot more than she thought. And especially seeing how much it was continuing to bother Kyoko, so she had to get involved.
Scott?
I learned that if I have a problem with Kyoko, I should ask Sophia. I'm so Bye, John. No, I'm joking. Whatever. Fuck it. No, I did. Oh man, you did, Aragwen. I'll have to.
Now, actually, I believe that it's possible that you may have that book because I think it might be one of the ones that I have signed.
Yeah, I feel like we would have been lent trolls.
I might have given you Nobles of Shining Host, but this, that is. Can the camera even see that?
Kind of.
Can't tell.
The drawing on the left.
Yeah, the drawing.
Yeah, that is an original Tony DiTerlizzi sketch for me in my copy of
Damn,
Change of the
dude.
Dreaming Second Edition. Oh yeah, no, I got Changeling shit.
Where'd you meet this person?
Tony DiTerlizzi, Gen Con.
Oh, sure. Yes, sorry. I remember you told me, and I was like, "Who dat?" Like, didn't know anything.
I have a signed print of Lee the She, which is hanging on the wall behind me on this camera.
That is true. That is true. That I know.
So I have some cool shit. I don't mind saying. I don't actually go for a whole lot of like autographs and stuff, but he was there and he gave me a sketch, and that was like, holy shit.
Damn.
So you know.
Did we miss Super Saiyan Scott again? No, we're good.
But yeah, I have some cool stuff. So Nobles the Shining Host is somewhere. I mean, I own the PDF.
Oh no, we have it.
But
we have it.
it's an interesting notion that courtly love is something that this freehold essentially rejects.
Yeah.
I mean, even Zeron wasn't playing into it. But Zeron's Fiona, and he has other priorities.
No, but if you
And
were
a
to
bit more
roll
emotional
through
awareness.
everyone in the Spark, like even the Sealy members of it would be like, not my jam. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're right. Like as a freehold,
Yeah,
we're
of the
essentially
entire
all of us are
freehold, I
like,
think the one who would most buy into it would be Talus, because of the way he was behaving when we first met him. Was very courtly,
yeah.
romantic.
Yep.
There's
Talus
also
would be
Secret
the
Garden
person
Games.
who would be most likely.
Yeah.
That is true. Claude isn't into courtly love. Claude is into,
Masochism?
yeah.
I'm kidding.
But that's Claude is kind of into the idea of love as a concept to be defended and adored, but it's less kind of the idea of courtly love, which sometimes doesn't really involve love at all and more just involves sex. But I mean, most of the time it's love, but sometimes it's literally just like, oh, I think she's cute. Let's see if we can get everybody together to try to hook up.
Nice.
I want to remind everybody that's sitting out there that sometimes it's very tempting to have your characters, your beloved characters that everybody follows along, your NPCs, make mistakes, do wrong things, or fuck up. Perhaps sometimes even royally. And it can feel super bad when you do it, too. But remember that if it's in the service of a story, you're probably going to get one of those. Hey, we're in another coming week of isolation, which sucks. But we might be able to make it a little bit better for you. What's coming up?
Anyone have any established streams coming?
The one that I have for sure established is going to be Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. So same time as this past week. I'm going to be finishing
Oh, damn.
Nancy Drew and the Whispering Statue. We got exactly halfway through, so I'm going to finish it.
None of this.
And
none
I
of this
have
one chapter.
I have confirmations from my father, mother, possibly Scott's parents, and my grandmother that they will be tuning in. So
Hey,
That's
anything to
not
get
a
those
party.
numbers
I
up,
don't know
yo.
what is.
Damn.
My poor dad today, he was like, so someone got me a subscription the last time I watched it. What does that mean? And I was like, well.
Let me tell you.
Oh god.
Scott?
Yeah, stay tuned to Twitter and Discord. If I decide to do anything this week, you guys will be the first to know. Not this one, not these chuckles. You out there in Chatland. I mean, I'll tell you guys, of course.
Well, that's kind of you to
You're very welcome.
deliberately screw us over. Kate?
I may stream during the week. Turns out there's more to Cadence of Hyrule than I thought. I thought I was going into the last dungeon, and there was more beyond it. So there might be some more of that this week. Stay tuned to Twitter as well for the deets. Probably during the day.
You know, I have been saying that I should be streaming during the week, and I'm actually going to follow up on that threat. So if it's not overriding anybody else's stream of the people you see here on screen, then I just might. I have plenty of games that I can potentially play. I've been doing relatively well at several games recently, so that might be a thing to look into. I'm also going to point out for all of us here involved that honestly, it's been tough for a lot of us, but if there's one thing that you can do to make yourself feel better about the world, you can turn into Pukajutsu's stream. That's Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific time, so Pacific Daylight Time currently. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time if you want to calibrate it to when this starts and stops. That shit'll make you feel good.
Yay.
He's been playing Animal Crossing recently, and I don't play Animal Crossing, and at the same time, like, I can't get enough of it. So,
Luke, do you have any interest in sharing Steam codes and visiting each other's islands?
oh, I'm sure he will. But
Yeah.
tune into his stream. Folks, if there's anything else that I can tell you, is that we are all going to get through this together separately. Thanks again to She Who Knows 10,000 Things, Krister for helping us, for probably bringing us this whole game, to all of you who are watching, subscribers, followers, or even if you just tuned in. Don't forget that you can join our Discord for more information or find all the VODs and synopses at rpgclinic.com. But in the end, we're all going to make it through this by going here and here. We'll see you next time.
Oh, this way.
Bye.
Bye.